Because there's not more than one tribe. There's one goddamn tribe, and it's this one. All right. How you doing, Karth? How you doing, Wolf? You guys all right? It's good to have the band back together again.
Yeah, we're doing good.
We're good. We're an hour late because apparently England is silly and do daylight savings times differently. But you know who's counting.
And another 50 minutes late because I just had to finish Spider-Man 2 before we did this because I'm an incredibly selfish individual. For real, though, it's a great freaking game.
Yeah, I was watching. That was a dope ending. That was worth it.
Oh, mate. Man.
Absolutely. Well played.
Oh, God. It's annoying because, like, I see the end and I'm like, okay, now give me Spider-Man 3. I won the next game because that shit was cool. That shit was cool. So yeah, I'll probably 100% it and start again. Yeah, I mean, you got to go through the credits and the post-credit scene and the post-credit scene. Got to do both of them.
Yes.
Because otherwise, did you even really play the game? I don't think so.
It's Marvel.
I mean, you unlocked the achievement. That's all that matters.
I did, but I do need to get the platinum because I did it in the other game and I got to do it in this game. It deserves it. It deserves all my attention, and it just makes me even more excited that Insomniac are bringing out the Wolverine game. They know how to do superhero games, man. And Wolverine is a cool superhero. Give it to me.
Yes.
Give it to me all day long.
Yes.
Hell yes. I'd love to see Wolverine fight off against Venom. Let's have it. Let's have at it. I mean, well, yeah, I won't go into it. But, you know, all the same. All the same. This is a Star Wars podcast with Star Wars stuff.
Ostensibly.
Jason. Yeah.
I mean, they're all owned by Disney.
Oh, Disney.
So,
yeah, right?
Sure. I'm sure Star Wars crossed over with Marvel at some point. It could happen. It could happen.
It's like that scene from Parks and Rec where Luke Skywalker comes in and hangs out with Wolverine and whatnot. You know,
as you do.
We're talking about.
What do you think? Actually,
there was. Sorry, there was a scene from Parks and Rec like years and years ago where this one guy was basically just like making something up off the cuff and was just like had his whole screenplay for a Marvel Star Wars crossover, and like Boba Fett was there and Wolverine is hanging out. It's this whole thing, and he ended up his description of how of Boba Fett coming back actually matched the start of the Boba Fett show. So it was kind of like
maybe they just took it from Parks and Rec. They were like, yeah, absolutely. But it does beg the question, though: can lightsabers cut through adamantium? I mean, that's the real question. Can they sever Wolverine's limbs? I don't know. Maybe.
No,
it could happen.
Beskar? Which is more powerful, adamantium or Beskar? The world needs to know.
That is a very good point.
Fictional metals.
Which of these fictional metals? Somebody do the science for me. Which of these fictional metals works best against this other fictional material? Well, plasma's not fictional.
I need hard data, damn it. Come on.
Now, in fairness, though, they did make it quite clear in The Mandalorian that Beskar is not lightsaber proof; it's lightsaber resistant. Small difference.
Okay, well that's fine.
That was like red hot by the end of that.
Yeah, when they did when Gideon and Mando did their fight, that was like, something's gonna get
spear heating up. You're like, ooh,
and think about holding that though. Like, think about holding that with your bare hands.
Yeah. Karth, have you gotten yourself a new camera? Because you're looking a little bit clearer today. Is it just the blur effect you've got?
It's deciding to be efficient. It has an autofocus, and so it depends on what it wants to pick up on as the point of my focus.
Mm-hmm.
Then I either look really clear or I look like crap. So I don't know. If I could sit still, it would probably be fine for the entire podcast. But I'm incapable of doing such. So I'm going to rotate back and forth. And then it's going to pick up something else that's closest to the camera, and then I will look poopy again. So there you go.
Yay, poopy camera quality. It's okay. It's the most important part of an audio platform such as a podcast is for you to look really pretty on camera.
Yes.
Now, granted, this does go up on YouTube and on Spotify. You can, I believe, actually watch the video of the podcast. But most people, and that's a lie because most people watch it on YouTube, most people who listen to it won't be looking at our ugly mugs. So there we have it. Yeah.
That's not very encouraging.
Most people will not be looking at our beautiful mugs.
I'll take it.
Yes.
No, last thing I was the freaking spear over there. I'm a giant nerd, so I see like the red hot orange heating up. I'm just like, man, that's ruining the temper of that Beskar over there. It's just there's so much. It's just no way it's gonna have the same thing.
It's gonna be a wobbly spear now, and it's gonna be shattered after a couple more hits.
Hey, maybe that's why they demoed it and put it into a chain link armor suit for Grogu.
They're like, oh, wow, the consistent, well, not the consistency, the temperament of this Beskar spear is no longer reliable. Let's just melt it the fuck down and make something entirely different.
I mean, that's minus the explanation. That's what they did in the show.
Yeah, we're putting logic behind the stupid shit where Mando is apparently not allowed to have new toys. He's only allowed to be Mando with his whistling birds and his rising phoenix and his flamethrower and his grappling table thing.
Beskar is not weapons except for the whistling birds. You know those. Well, except for those, they're not weapons at all.
Yeah, exactly. Even though his entire religion is around weapons, he's not allowed new ones because that would be wrong.
Yes. No.
That would be wrong. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
But we could have another character in Swigo with the Beskar Spear Mando. And then we can have the Darksaber and Beskar Spear Mando, and then Darksaber only. It's like we have so many iterations.
CG is just like, that's content for days. We've got like 17 Mandos we can make. It's amazing.
There's like, well, we could get like Morgoth. What's that girl's name from Ahsoka?
Morgan.
Elsbeth?
Yeah, the Night Sister chick. You could have Beskar Spear version of her, and then you could have Night Sister Blade version of her.
The Talzin sword? Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, I want that version in the game. I want her in the game, and I want the Night Troopers in the game, and I want all of it. I definitely want the undead. Is it Dark Troopers or Death Troopers? No, it's Death Troopers. Like the zombified Death Troopers that they fought near the end.
I think they were those Night Troopers.
Well, whatever the last two were.
They're Night Troopers is what they were, and then troopers. They were they were undead. They were revived.
Yeah, because those things were fucking cool.
They would probably just put a mechanic on the kit that makes them revive like Zombie does.
Mm-hmm.
But then have them have the Imperial Remnant tag. that would be kind of cool.
Fun. No, give it Night Sister tag. They could make a whole new Night Sister faction with the Great Mothers and Talzin and Dark Troopers.
That would be so boring to have those. They don't do enough, I would think, to create three character kits out of
Catherick,
that.
You're not thinking about. You're not thinking in the mind of consumerism right now. They're just going to sell shit to us, Garth. That doesn't matter if it does enough.
They gotta sell
Grogu
shit
was in it for 60
buy.
seconds. All right, yeah. IG-12 and Grogu, they just printed money with that shit. Let's go. Come on. No.
100% reason why they brought Grogu back in season 3. So
yeah, absolutely.
He was not designed to it, and that's why they used the Book of Boba Fett to bring him back, because they wanted it to be an end for Grogu and go back to being Mandalore. And they're like, nah, we like Grogu. He's good for marketing, so we're gonna need him to come back.
Merchandising.
Exactly.
Where the real money from the movie is made.
They consulted Hondo about how to make money, and it was like, yep, that little baby Yoda, he sells like hotcakes. Make more of that.
Oh yes.
I mean, hell, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's about all the ancillary products that they can siphon off from mainstream Star Wars content, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I mean, it is what it is. But I'm okay with it. I quite like IG-12. Give it IG-12. I still wish we would have had the Praetorian Guards. Like, that would have been cool. But we got Paz. Yeah, absolutely. Well, they could.
We just have these characters as required for the new Bo-Katan that they announced. For anybody who's confused what we're talking about, we have IG-12 and Grogu, and then
Paz Vizsla.
who was it? Kelleran Beck, and then Paz Vizsla. the other requirements for the new Bo-Katan that's coming out.
And
So I
those
just
of you
want to
that
throw
aren't familiar, right? So do you want to explain who Keller and Beck is, just in case not everybody is familiar, Wolfie?
Oh, if anybody hasn't seen the new shows at this point, Keller and Beck is the Jedi who now officially in canon has saved Grogu from the temple
Mhm.
in Order 66. And he was originally, what was he? It was a game show that he was
Yeah,
hosting, and
the
that was his
kids game
canon-ized
show.
character.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kids game show.
I think it was
It's
like
the same
Jedi
actor who,
Trials or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
the actor who played Jar Jar Binks. They brought
yeah.
him back in that
Ahmed
game over
Best.
there, which
Yeah.
yeah, Ahmed Best, which I love them, like him getting his day in the sun, him getting
For sure, man.
a little redemption
Yeah.
arc over there.
And he in his, if you've not seen the episode, listeners at home, and where you actually see Keller and Beck in live action, he actually does a pretty decent job of being a Jedi. I mean, it's not like he wasn't like he looks like Anakin wielding a lightsaber, but he didn't do a bad job. So hats off to him for coming in and giving in good work, and probably living out a childhood dream. Like who's a Star Wars fan and doesn't have a childhood dream of one day being a Jedi or a Sith on Star Wars media? I mean, that would be freaking sick.
Yeah.
That would be freaking sick. So he did a good job.
And the actor got a good bit of redemption from everything. He got a lot of hate for Jar Jar, and it's good to see him welcomed back into the community, along with Anakin. With that, because Hayden Christensen got a lot of hate as well.
Well, a lot of people did. Let's face it. In the prequels, they got a lot of undeserved hatred. Because even if you disagree with a character and a portrayal of a character or whatever like that, the actor does not deserve your ire and hatred. And these people got death threats and all sorts, and that's just not fucking cool, man. That ain't cool at all. Yeah. So they don't deserve it. So it's nice to see, like you say, that Ahmed Best managed to he managed to have an on-screen redemption, as it were. Not that he needed to be redeemed, but he gets to have that moment in the sun where he gets to be the savior, and that's awesome. That's awesome.
And in Hayden's defense, how the hell do you deliver a line like "I hate sand" and and make it good? How do you actually pull that off? I sure as shit couldn't. So
no. And he is a complete solid actor. Hayden is a complete solid actor. You see the scenes that he's in. He does a perfectly fine job at portraying the character that he is. It's not his fault that sometimes the dialogue is not the best, and the direction of the film is not the best. But he put in his all. So
that comes from also the editing too. There was so much stuff that gets edited out because there was some of the original scripts that got leaked for the Attack of the Clones, and there's just this massive amounts of dialogue between Obi-Wan and Anakin about him and Padme. And they just no, we want to keep it more secret than that. But then, you get to the Clone Wars and everyone's like, you going to talk to Padme again? I bet you are. It's yeah. It's he knows. There's no way he doesn't know. I'm sorry. You spend too much time with somebody and the flags just kind of get up there.
Well, exactly. I mean, we don't know how the Force fully works, but I'm sure he's around Anakin when he's around Padme, and he's like, God damn, somebody's getting aroused right now. Who is that? I wonder. Somebody's Force energy is on the rise. Sorry, Wolf, go ahead.
Almost final season. No, they did have a couple times where Kenobi was coming in and oh, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I sort of know what's going on, where they sort of hint at that and build it up a little bit more. I think the Clone Wars TV show did so much good work for the prequels to fill stuff in over there and do some character building and whatnot. But that was one of those things where they hinted at Kenobi sort of knows. I mean, how can you really not know at that point? Dude's his apprentice. I mean,
you'd spend your entire life around him.
Every time we go to Coruscant, you happen to go hang out with Padme. Interesting.
And the next morning, you've always got this big smile on your face. What's that about, Anakin?
and these two droids that apparently never get their memory wiped. They've been there for all of it. Well, actually, R2 has. C-3PO shuts off a lot. They did that in the Clone Wars too. Is that C-3PO kind of gets just the utter crap beat out of him. It's the reason why he doesn't remember stuff is because C-3PO has been through some shit, and they either get deleted or he gets
He's got trauma.
Yeah.
Repressed
Oh,
memories.
R2D2,
Well,
in theory, has never had his memory wiped from the interaction from episode 1 to the end of his time.
I was going to say,
Which
3PO
is
has no trauma because his mind gets wiped so much.
yeah.
He just can't deal with it. Like, wouldn't you like to have that ability? You go through some really fucked up shit and you're like, I'm just going to get rid of that memory because that does not serve me at all. Bloop. And you'd be like, oh, so much better now. That's like a weight has been lifted. Yeah.
Did you watch Arrested Development?
No. What's that?
No. Oh my! It was a TV show. I think it only had like two seasons, something like that. Old. I forget exactly when it came out. But there was this one character, Joe Bluth, that at one point was just sitting there roofing himself, so he would just like keep on forgetting what he would do. He just had giant spans of time where he just completely lost everything because he was just roofing himself.
It is like Hivorius in the chat is bringing it up. It's kind of like the prospect of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, except in the way that I would think it should be applied is for like severely traumatic experiences, not breaking up with your girlfriend, because that's where things get a little bit silly. You can't use it as a catch-all to fix every little wrong. Like, you stubbed your toe and you're like, I don't want to remember that. It should be like, really bad shit.
Well, I mean,
those things help build character, and if you keep on like working all of those things out of it, then you never fucking grow, and you can never, correct anything. You can never build and be better and whatnot. So I mean, yes, some serious trauma, I got you, but I mean, little stuff like that, you got to be careful.
Maybe being tortured or something like that. Maybe you want to forget that shit.
You might want to, but it's an unfortunate reality of the life we live in. That pain and failure is our greatest teachers. Nothing teaches you greater than experiencing that. So,
and that's why I do not touch the stove anymore when it's been on.
Hey man, I've been putting pennies in light sockets, man. I tell you what.
that one time I peed on an electric fence. Never again. Oh. Okay.
Never again. Mm-hmm.
The funny part though is that
traffic. Never again. What?
When it comes to peeing on electric fences, you know how hard it actually is to get you to shock yourself, because I don't know if you know this. But urine does not keep a consistent stream, as in you think it kind of like bubbles and breaks as it goes out.
Splatters. It just
so you kind of have to hit it with such ferocity that you keep a consistent enough stream for the jolt to come back up to you. So it's like I feel like
Mythbusters did a whole episode on this.
Did they really?
Yep.
Yes.
It's pretty hard to make that happen. You got to be pretty committed to shocking yourself in the dinger to make that happen. So, and I just learned pretty early that self harm in that general location not a great idea. So
it's not a great idea. It's don't punch yourself in the balls at home, guys. It doesn't end well. After the first time you throw up,
there's it's a little like Vine video of this 3-year-old who takes a Nerf gun, charges it, points it right at his pecker, and pulls the trigger. Then immediately just starts like bouncing around, like going. Ah!
Well, have you seen it?
What is that?
To bring it back to Star Wars related content, there's that kid who did it with the lightsaber. The extendable ones, and he put it in his mouth and just like block, and the lightsaber goes down his throat, and he just goes oh. Because obviously it triggers his gag reflex. It's like, now you learn. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. You just deep-throated a lightsaber. Congratulations.
If it's not a real one, you would have just killed yourself.
Well, I mean, yeah, luckily there are. I don't want to say there are no real. I suppose there's real proto-sabers now. Because Hacksmith Industries has made several now at this point. But yeah, there are no commercially available real lightsabers that actually do shit.
Not as representative.
It's just giant welding torches, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's basically what those current sabers are. They use a fuel
like
source.
Big old plasma torches.
Yeah, basically they just use a fuel source to create a giant plasma torch. Mm-hmm. They're trying to develop something in it.
Awesome.
It's still fucking cool.
They were developing something that allows it to be actually dual with them. But the keeping the rod from getting melted is the challenge. So
nothing can hold that level of heat, I guess.
Well, you got to dial down the heat and put a metal that's gonna be able to be heated and cooled constantly without making it too brittle or anything like that.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Lots of fun things to overcome with that. But yeah, unless we actually get Star Wars technology, I don't think lightsabers ever come, buddy.
It's okay for us not to have these in the real world. You know, part of the enjoyment of watching films like this is the fantasy element of it, right? You know, we don't necessarily need to have magic. It's cool if magic was everywhere. The films wouldn't be entertaining anymore, right? Because you're like, oh yeah, I do that on my way to work. I fly to work every day. Literally, just I just get my web shooters out and you know.
That's what people say realistically. That's what people say realistically. Star Wars is more of like a fantasy within a sci-fi sort of type environment.
It's definitely
the Force is magic, and the lightsabers are more of a fantasy type sword rather than an actual sci-fi kind of thing. And it's this mysterious kyber crystal, and so it's more of a fantasy kind of thing rather than a sci-fi sort of deal. But it's kind of that environment.
That is kind of the difference between Star Wars and Star Trek, right? Because Star Trek is definitely more in the sci-fi area than it is fantasy-based, right? There's obviously a fantastical element to it, but it's
the
grounded in
aliens and all that sort of,
The reality of our development for space, if we ever get to that point, we are most likely to take on the Halo universe's concept of space versus anything else, because I don't think we'll ever quite master it, but I would say Star Trek would be a close second to the technology that we could replicate. But yeah, we'd have to learn how to do the traveling bit first.
yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
I think it's comfortable to say that we're not going to see that in our lifetime. So I like to think of it as a problem for Ron. So
knowing Earth as a whole, we're going to piss off everybody we come into contact with.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Or we're going to do something stupid, like we'll find a cute race and we'll want to domesticate it and pet it, and it's going to cause the destruction of the entire human race. You know, something like that.
Without a doubt.
Find some distant Star-Lord's daughter and try to bone her, Captain Kirk.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we'll find something. The first thing that's really going to kill us, it will be like disease, right? We'll go to a planet which has got diseases we've never encountered before, and our immune system's got nothing to do with it. We land there, and everybody dies within a week. We're just like, dead. Oh, well, good job. You created interstellar travel, and everybody died.
Yep.
Woo!
Perfect.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. On that note, back to hyperspace.
Back to actual swugger, because that's where you guys tune into.
We were talking prior to the start of this whole shenaniganry about the odds of the raid showing up by the end of the year.
I'm still confident it's coming. It's coming.
Oh man, is that where we were?
Yeah, we were kind of, because we started off. Before I rudely interrupted Karth and said, Karth, stop talking about this shit. This sounds like Tribe talks shit, man. And then we proceeded to talk for, how long? 23 minutes about anything but Galaxy of Heroes and the topic at hand. But this is all part of my master plan to turn this away from a Swugger podcast into three idiots talk about stupid shit for like 2.5 hours.
Yo, I got you.
I got your back, brother. But yeah, no, it stemmed from when we had Meathead come around the stream. Guys, if you don't know, Meathead Militia, all right, he's one of the community managers for this game. He occasionally, every single stream of mine on Twitch, every day, he turns up on my stream and gives away free crystals to everybody. You all better jump on Twitch and give your boy Scribble a follow and just turn up to every single one of my streams. Just saying.
In fairness. If you see Meathead Militia show up in the chat room of any streamer, but particularly Scribe because it's been the most consistent, have your ally code ready.
Yes.
Copy and paste it, ready to go into chat. I swear, half the people on Friday were ready for it because he's like, I need ally code, and all of a sudden the whole chat bar is
it just went
30. I'm like, oh, I don't have mine memorized, so I got to go over here and over there, and I'm too late.
Yeah, and the real secret is because the way I do it is he'll say, give me 5 or give me 10 ally codes, and I'll put you all on a wheel spin, right? And we'll pick out 10 lucky winners. But what I should be doing is I should just when I DM them to Meatheads, just give them my ally code 10 times because I want free crystals. I think he might see through that. I think you might see that. Yeah. But really, what he was saying was that I tried to convince him to just come on and have a chat with me and do the road ahead so that we could reveal it. And he said no. Funnily enough, he didn't agree to spontaneously come into voice chat and talk about the road ahead. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it, guys.
Imagine the nerve.
I mean, in fairness, he didn't disagree with it either. What he said was that there is no road ahead to discuss.
Yeah.
So therefore, you did not extend an invitation to say, "Hey, well, what can we discuss? Get on in here."
See, I missed it. See, guys, I missed it by that much. See, I just need Karth to be whispering in my ear. But some people seem to have taken that as gospel that there's just not going to be a road ahead, and I don't think that's true.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think we'll get nothing.
They don't have to have a road ahead to launch the raid. I don't necessarily think that the post leading up to the Crate Dragon raid was a road ahead. I don't remember. I have to go back and look.
State of the Galaxy.
Let's be real,
there was about a 1 month ahead.
I think we're talking semantics at this point. Do we really care if it's a road ahead or the State of the Galaxy? It's just
I just want to know when it's landing. Like, that's all I care about.
Thank you.
But
exactly.
For me, we're to the end of October. We're almost to November, and we haven't heard anything besides that they've added the new marquees to the list of characters available for the raid. Something tells me it's not going to show up when I was thinking, it would show up around the anniversary of Swolga. I'm going to go with no. It's gonna if it does show up, it'll be December. If it shows up in December, it's got to be before it goes to Christmas, because there's no way they put that thing live and then go on holiday. If it goes to hell,
sorry, that's how I do everything on my work. I make sure I plan all of my my big projects to finish, and then I go on holiday for 2 weeks so people can't question me about it, and hopefully it all blows over.
Didn't they do that for the first Rise of the Empire? They launched it, and then went on holiday, and everything was fucked. And then
they launched it early December. They had one before.
I'm not kidding. I'm trying to actually remember.
And it was completely fucked. No, I don't think you're wrong, Wolf. There was definitely stuff.
It was mid-December when they launched the first one, and the second one came, I think, that week between Christmas and New Year's.
Wasn't it great that it was like phase 2 or phase 3 in Lightside didn't have the relic restrictions, so you could just use all your units.
Yeah.
That was nice. I wish they'd have left that little ditty in. I mean, not that it matters at this point, but
there's a lot of little things at that point that were kind of funny. Yeah. But I mean, that's the thing, is you got to get enough people into the game testing it out to see what's going to break, and that's what we did. But I mean, I don't know. I would be surprised now if they're going to put it off to that late in the year, because I feel like that's a huge risk they're going to gamble on, is that if that raid doesn't go live perfectly, even look at how much crap they got for the Leia event with that tier 4 being broken. They don't really.
But I mean, deservedly so.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the thing is though, is that it worked perfectly fine in their test environment, and then when it went live, it went to hell, and so.
Well, I mean, they say it worked perfectly fine in their test environment. We don't actually know.
Or so they say.
We can assume. I'm not calling them liars, but maybe a couple of half-truths go through occasionally, guys. Okay?
I mean, that's fair. But I mean, for the most part, the way I see it is, if we're not getting anything, nothing with a charity stream, the anniversary is 2 weeks? I feel like it only leaves us about 4 weeks after that to go through the process of launching that new raid, because I don't see them wanting to put it out during Christmas. I think that's just a huge gamble, because there's going to be nobody in the office between the couple days before Christmas and the end of the year. So
I think you're overestimating how much they care.
Yeah.
You're really giving them too much. I mean, no offense, but I think you're giving them too much credit here. I think they're okay with dropping something and being bug filled, and we'll figure it out after we get back.
We're still talking. They've got 6 weeks, man. That's still 6 weeks.
That's a good amount of time. I think they still got plenty of time to get the post out, get the thing out, get it launched. I still think it's going to be end of November, beginning of December that this thing is going to get launched, like we were originally thinking. I mean, it's not
a new project. They were speaking about it 6 months. Well, maybe not 6 months ago. Maybe 6 months ago. When did they announce it?
Maybe 6 months ago. I think they announced it
when Leia was announced. which
there you
was
go.
like
It's not like it's brand
was a
new
while ago.
and they have to think
it
of
was
everything.
back in July or something like that. It was after Cal Kestis came out, which he was in.
Oh yeah, but that's only when they announced it. But like, it's not. Yeah, so I know I said that they announced it such and such ago, but it's obviously been germinating and they've been working on it since before.
They announced the crate raid in December, and they put a road ahead out in February or March, and then that gave us more information on it, and gave us a post in April for the raid that went live in May. So I mean,
6 months.
Not
even that. 5 months. 5 months. So we've got time.
Depends on which part of December you want to discount and which part of May you want to add into it. But it was pretty early in May. But yeah,
5 to 6 months.
I'm arguing a semantic I don't care about. So
we're clutching at straws. We're splitting hairs.
Yeah,
I have no hair.
It's within the margin of error over here.
Yeah,
it's within the margin of error.
Yeah,
right.
I think it's perfectly reasonable for us to expect an early December release of the raid.
I mean, everything that they push for Leia right now makes the most sense for that. Is to get Leia out the door.
Seriously, the push for the Leia, for the everything. Holy crap.
Unprecedented.
The bonus drops last week. That was crazy. I'm already unlocked Leia. I'm working on the ult.
We're getting double drops as well. Like real soon. It's like we've had additive drops, and now we're getting double drops on top of that.
Well, in fairness, double drops was a community reward for their charity program.
Okay, yeah,
right.
but I mean, it's still helping, right?
That wasn't a planned event. That was a bonus if they got it.
Yeah,
which is still going to take away
from
people.
It doesn't take away from the additive drops that we got recently. All of everything they've been doing to accelerate this stuff. Like they have been going out of their way to give us and say, "Hey, work on these damn raid characters. You're going to need them." Like they're forcing them down our throats.
Yeah, won't argue that with you. They are definitely pushing hard and fast into getting Leia operational. And which I mean, I think kind of helps with the buy-in on the raid itself, because if you can't use probably the one character that's going to easily max score at the highest tier, I don't know what your interest in it would be. So there's it's hard to say. Like I wouldn't be like surprised if it showed up in December. I'm thinking we're getting closer and closer to the window of it being like, oh, so in January.
Yeah, I mean, it's not out of the realms of possibility for it to be delayed, but I still think they get it out this year. I still think
delayed is relative too, though, right? Because their initial post that they intended to have it done by the end of the year, but it could go longer. So
yeah,
I mean, delay is relative. It's if we're within their time frame, how is it delayed? I guess.
Yeah. yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm still waiting with bated breath to get any sort of news around how this raid is going to operate, because there is still
with crate. That's all I'm waiting for.
Oh god, yeah, absolutely. I'm sure you and half of the player base at least is waiting to be done with crate, and the other half are probably the people that aren't even playing crate yet. So I just there are too many questions for me right now around this new raid that need answers. Like, how many teams do we run? What's the reward structure look like? How much time are they expecting us to put into it? It's like all of this information is incredibly pertinent, because they gave us a little bit of a handout by saying, look, you only have to run it once a week instead of twice a week, or once every 6 days, right? Because they're just doubling up the ticket costs.
They told us that's how they were addressing the player fatigue on running the raid so frequently.
Exactly, but we don't know if that means we need to run a lot more teams.
Well, yeah, I'm with you. But the reason they let us know that is because they weren't going to change it for crate. They were going to keep crate as it was, and they'll change it the next one. That's the only reason we found out that's why it's being run that way. Yeah.
So that's what I wanted. Like, I don't need the raid right now. I don't need the raid this year. I'm quite happy to push out. I need to make sure I get Leia unlocked first. And that's my focus,
so
right?
Many things to relic.
So, oh my god, it's just ridiculous, and I have no mats.
In general, I mean, it's factions that people have at relics, but not high relics. So it's one of those things where it's like you're gonna need to start pushing R7s on a lot of these characters, and we don't quite know yet which squads are going to be the ones worth investing into, or how many runs or how many squads we got to put together. You know, if they're going to be like, well, it's all 3v3, so we're just going to make you do 10 battles instead of 5, and I'm like, well, pound sand. Like I don't want to do 10 battles every week.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be spending like an hour. Like even if it's once a week, I don't want to spend a whole hour running teams, and that's if it's easy RNG. And I certainly don't want to be going in there spending an hour and also remodding for like 6 different teams because they need specific modding. Like if that's the case, I don't want that shit. Please no.
Yeah, I don't want
to mod my loot for potency. Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Well, that's what
modding should accentuate, right? Modding should accentuate, but not be the determining factor.
This is what we talked about though a couple of days ago. It's just like with Mando in the Maul Mando team in the crate raid, where the crate raid, the dragon just eats somebody. When he gets
son of a bitch.
It can ruin a run. It can ruin a run just by the fact that he eats Maul, because Maul doesn't get the Mandalore, but he gets it taken away when he dies or gets eaten. He doesn't technically die.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the way they code it is a death.
Yeah, I know, because you also lose your Beskar armor, sons of bitches.
Yeah. So
he eats that shit right off you.
If there was a way to reduce the RNG on that run, where it's like if there isn't someone taunting, the crate dragon eats the healthiest or the weakest ally or whatever it ends up being, I don't care. Just give me a mechanic to work around that I can mod for or strategize against. I just hate the idea like, well, I put 2.5-3 minutes into this run, and all right, there I failed because you ate Maul. All right, well, back out, start again.
Yep, it's the most fun that I have when I do that raid. Is like and you see me do it live, Karth. I'll be sat there and we'll be going through the run, and I'll be like, "Don't eat Maul, don't eat Maul, don't eat Maul, you son of a fucking bitch! Restart." And you're like, "God damn it, you giant sand penis! Go crawl into your cave, piece of shit! God damn it, eating my Maul every time, man. Well, not every time, obviously, but." Far more often than I would like.
Look, the spikes are a nice texture. He just likes it in his big old sand belly.
Adds an element of crunch. that extra texture really makes the meal.
See?
Yeah.
See?
Clear
you understand.
Throat out.
You get it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would be angry too if I had a sore throat the whole time.
See? See? Now you get it, okay? Now don't you feel bad?
No. Stupid fucking snake.
No.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just
my ball. Damn it!
This new one's a little bit more just mechanically like sussed out better, where it's more of a mechanical fight and not a. Well, do you have to meet crazy mod thresholds? Do you have to be, is there how much RNG is there? Because like even when we play home, right? The raid in home has got so much RNG, it's atrocious.
Oh, it's
ridiculous. It's not worth. It's just not fun to play because
I'm very glad that they assessed the level of RNG in Chapter 1 at least for home.
Yeah,
they rebalanced Chapter 1 to make it less RNG crazy, and that's nice. So.
Yeah,
Heroes of Middle Earth.
Yes, for those who don't know. But the only reason I bring that up is just because like that's technically their most recent raid was that one that CG developed was was that one. So I'm kind of like looking at that going like, I really hope the RNG-ness of it does not exist when we get to the Endor raid. Because I just
nobody wants to lose some RNG.
Well, I don't like a run that's like I could get 1,000,000 points by default
200K.
if I just show up, or I could get 2.7 if RNG works in my favor. And I'm like, well, that's kind of a dumb spread because it's like if I invest into the team, I should be able to get the points. If I strategize correctly, mod correctly, and go in, I should get the points. So I don't like the idea of being like, well, no, because Leia didn't see that tree coming and she died, and now the run's over. Like,
watch out for that tree.
Yeah, what do you want me to do? Like, it's like, is there surprise mechanics of just instant defeat in the Endor Forest raid?
Oh, well, hold up. Surprise mechanics. We're going back to whale action here. There's surprise mechanics, guys. God, did you like that 0.02% chance of getting 50 shots? No, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Surprise mechanics. Just like this rather wonderful bottle of Maker's Mark, that has a surprise mechanic on my sobriety. Let's see how that works out.
I don't know if it's a surprise, but it's
I-
definitely.
It's actually, I tell you, Garth, I'm as shocked as anybody when I end these streams drunk. I just don't know how it happens.
I was drinking, I was thirsty, and I kept putting liquid in my body, and all of a sudden I'm as drunk as it's
I was just absolutely parched. I'm afraid I was very, very drunk. Yeah. But yeah, I don't want no crazy RNG. Like I don't mind. Strategy is fine. Gear gating is fine. But don't gear gate, strategy gate, and RNG gate all at once. That's just not fun for anybody. If I've put in the work, have good mods, and have got relic 8s for my characters to go in at the top level, and I know the strategy, I should be max scoring. I do not want to be at the whims of stupid RNG. So take note, CG. Take note. The way you make a game fun is making solving the problem enjoyable. And the problem should be difficulty. So solving the difficulty should be an enjoyable process.
It's funny
because
because
going to be a problem of learning all the new mechanics and seeing how they interact and everything. Because there's going to be all the new special abilities and the new basic and the new whatnot and how these things interact with each other, and it's basically learning new kits and new everything. And in a way, it's exciting. In a way, it's a little bit daunting. So as a raid officer, I'm looking forward to figuring out some new strategies.
Hell yeah.
As a raid officer, I'm not looking forward to everyone fucking bitching because they can't do any of these things or follow simple instructions.
Oh yeah.
or those who absolutely
just
refuse
can't be
to
asked.
remod.
Oh
Or just
god.
can't be bothered. Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, I get not remodding for certain things, like TW, for example. Not everybody is in a sweaty tryhard guild, and they don't want to remod for TW. I can understand that. But not remodding for something like the Reaver mission, for example. That's something I just can't get on board with. It's like, it's one fight that you have to do once a fortnight that will massively improve everybody in your guild's roster if you don't have Reaver unlocked at this point. This is a different kettle of fish if you're not pushing for Reaver anymore, either if you've unlocked or you're not doing it, right? But if you can't even do remodding for that one little thing, shoot yourself in the foot.
That's going to be the real rub when we start going to unlock Zepho, because I think for a lot of people, they're going to have to remod Fear for the mission. Cal will probably get away with a certain easy checks to hit that most people are probably going to have it modded for. But Seer needs to be modded a specific way and to survive everything. And so it's a lot easier with Cal. And if you don't want to do it with any Omicrons, like you're going to have to remod. So
I've got no problem remodding for one mission. That is one special mission in phase 2. I'm okay. Like, I will happily do that if it means we get access to Zepho. But if the whole guild, and I say the whole guild, if 30 players in the guild don't do that and they just can't be asked, and then they're just like, wow, how about that Zepho special mission, huh? That's pretty difficult. You're like, well, did you remod? No, I just went in and hit auto and I just died in wave 2. Like, well, you're a piece of shit, for one. I think you should close the door on your weenie, for 2. I mean, it's not hard, guys. It doesn't take long to remod and maybe just, have a read very briefly about what actually you need to do in the mission. But hey.
Full disclosure, we are speaking as hot utils users, so we do press buttons to move mods. So this is it is a little bit different if you're moving them around in game.
It is. It'll take you a whole extra 45 seconds to do it if you do it in game. It's only 2 characters.
It's putting back that's the issue. Because if you pull 6 mods from 6 separate characters for just to fill out 2, that means 12 characters. You got to go back and put them back on and remember which ones you had. Which, in fairness, the way I used to handle that with the cam mission back where I used Hot Utils, whatever I was pulling from for those loadouts, then I saved those characters in a separate tab.
Of course.
So that way I could automatically just go back and reload them when I was done, and that was how I managed that until Hot Utils, when now I just go over and click a button.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole reason why we have mod loadouts, is to do this shit.
We have a cap that is lower than the number of characters in the game.
I appreciate that, but honestly, how many people actively use that many mod loadouts within the game? At that point, seriously, dude, just pay $10 to Hot Utils and save yourself about 50 hours a month. Like, come on, just do yourself a favor. It's not that much money. But there we go. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that because not everybody has got $10 to spend on Hot Utils, right? But it's just one of those things. It's one of those things. Like, it does make life a lot easier, but remodding for one mission once a fortnight is not a big deal. However, as we were saying, if you have to remod for like 8 teams for the new Endor raid, and every team needs to be remodded because of the mechanics within the game, I will not be a happy bunny because I don't want to do that.
It's a bit excessive.
It is a bit excessive. Because at that point I'll be like, well, I'm just going to leave those mods on forever unless it starts messing with my GAC performance. So
for the current crate raid, I usually only run 3 teams actually because it's enough to get the 6.3. I'll do the Java team for 2.7. I don't do any remodding for that team. They're just fine as they are. And then I'll do the Mandalorian team, so the Maul Mandos, some light remodding.
That needs a remod.
It's mostly to get armor to 361. It's get some decent offense on Canyon. A few little things here and there. And then the Tusken team. The Tusken teams, I put some great mods on there going, but it allows me to get Tuskens on my first try every time. It saves me so much time having to do reruns over there by just getting the damn right mods on there. The Mandalorians team, like you said, as long as the crate dragon cooperates and does not eat Maul or does not stun Maul in the beginning, then you can do that one shot. It's just down to him.
He's just developed a taste for Zabrak. Is it Zabrak? Is that the race?
Yes.
It's something
Zabrak.
like that, I think. Zabrak, yeah.
Yes.
He's just developed a taste for that race. So you or you saying sort of the race?
Sort of the race. It's a sub-faction of that, but it's
a Dathomirian Zabrak.
It's a sub-race, guys. We're getting into D&D territory here. My God. Oh my God. It's amazing.
Well, like Baodur from your KOTOR 2 game is an Iridonian Zabrak.
Yeah.
Ooh. It's like you're human, but from a different planet. But you're still human, though.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You're a Corellian human. Congratulations. What does that mean? It just means you've got 6 fingers instead of 5. Oh, okay, yeah, well, super. Yeah, slightly paler.
6 fingers in your right hand.
You don't perchance. Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Thank you. Thank you for getting the reference. Beautiful.
What a great scene. Oh, man. Well, I mean, I know he says that like 7 times in the film, but the last time he says it is a great scene.
Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. Oh, my God.
Low key, one of my top 3 films of all time. I fucking love The Princess Bride, man.
Without a doubt, that movie and like some of those fighting scenes, like that's one of the reasons.
Really good.
When I found out that my high school was starting a fencing team my freshman year, I was like, "Hell yeah, man, let's do it!"
And did you turn up and say, "I've got something to tell you. I am not left-handed."
Oh, so good. Oh, so damn good. Oh man, what were we talking about?
I don't know, the Cliffs of Insanity or something. So
something like that.
Man, yeah, it was a good time. No, what were we talking about? I've completely forgotten.
Raid related.
Oh yeah, he keeps eating Maul. As long as he doesn't eat Maul, it's pretty much a one shot. As long as you do your remod and everything, it's pretty much okay. But if you have to remod for 8 teams as opposed to remodding for 3 or 4 teams, it gets to be a bit much. Especially if you don't have high utils, it gets to be even just the credit cost. The credit cost of moving all those mods gets to be a bit much.
Oh my days. Karth saw on my account, Friday? I had like 2 million credits. I am dry of credits. What did I do? I took Drogon to 7 stars and I took him to level 85 and I was like, shit, well there goes like 6 million credits. And if I do like a complete remod through Hot Utils of my entire roster, which I quite often do. Well, no, I do it usually once a month for the start of GAC. I like all my new mods, all my new characters, complete remod. To change all those mods over usually is about 3 to 4 million credits. And I'll be like, okay, let's just do that. And the rest gets spent on mods. So now I'm just like, I've built back up to maybe 10, 15 mil right now, but I'm like, that's like 2 characters to level 85. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I'm broke.
Right.
Let's not do too much remodding right now.
Yeah. There's only 2 more marquees coming. That'll chew all that up right there.
Right.
Yes. So
CG, give me more stuff.
You excited for IG-12? Excited for Keller and Beck?
I mean,
We sort of talked about them earlier.
yes. I like, give me IG-12, man. I want the new Mando
that's
unit.
What we're saying. That's what we're saying. The Praetorian Guards. There's no reason they can't bring in Praetorian Guards just for a different thing. They brought in Scout Troopers, and they brought those guys in finally, and they can bring them in for something else. What?
I'm just like,
yes.
You know how a lot of people's conversation are at like a linear line? I was just kind of like a child with a crayon, just fucking drawing all over the place. Like at about minute 2, we started talking about Praetorian Guards, and then we disappeared and we talked about Star Trek for a bit. And now at minute 50, we're back on Praetorian Guards, guys. Like, fuck, do I need Ritalin or something? What is it that kind of chills you out? Adderall.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
But I agree. They could absolutely go back and bring out Praetorian Guards. And I still want them to, because that's a cool fucking unit. You know?
I mean,
it's like if Royal Guard was actually cool.
Scout Trooper. Finally got freaking Scout Trooper out here.
And he's Imperial Remnant, which at least...
years.
I mean, at least it kind of makes sense as Imperial Remnant, but they're like, it's the Endor Scout Trooper. And I'm like, and he's Imperial Remnant? Interesting. All right, cool.
Of course.
Next, I'm okay with them bringing out more characters. It just depends on where they want to go with the next legendary, because they're going to have something that's going to be set up for next year, and another GL that they got to set up for. So it's like, what do we build towards? And I kind of in my head makes the most sense to build towards Thrawn as the next Galactic Legend first, because it should be Darkseid, it should be the next GL.
It times out as well for the release dates of Ahsoka and generally how long it takes for them to reach, new media content in the game. It's usually about 9 months to a year before we start seeing stuff. So it kind of times out.
We'll be ready for a Thrawn GL by next year. I mean, we just had the Ahsoka show. When's the next season? When's the movie supposed to come out? It feels a little bit too early for a Thrawn Galactic Legend. I'm down for Thrawn. I love me some Thrawn. I'm not questioning Thrawn in the future as a Galactic Legend. Do not get me wrong. I think Thrawn's a badass, heir to the fucking Empire. But
be a good Thrawn
now, before he's been fully established and on the movies and everything, it feels a little bit early. I don't know.
Maybe,
that's a case, but I mean,
so it is a solid point. Yeah,
I don't see his character development changing too drastically between the next show and the movie. Just becoming more established as a giant badass. I mean, that's about as far as I think they're going to progress him, is to move him into a bigger and bigger threat that the galaxy has to then kind of get up and together and deal with. So. I think that's kind of where I would see that one headed in the long term of things. But I don't. They could still do it. It's not like his character's gonna change too much. But it makes the most sense in my head for them to go that direction with the GL. But they might go a different direction. They could go EU or well, apparently we're supposed to get a Tales of the Jedi Balin Skull. So.
Oh really?
Ooh.
Yeah, we're supposed to get the season 2 of Tales of the Jedi is going to have his story in it. It's
I would love
by,
any additional content from Balin Skull would be cool for me.
What's his name? Who's the voice actor? It's the guy who plays Boromir, but I can't think. Sean Bean. There we go.
Sean Bean.
Yeah,
Sean Bean. He always pisses me off, man, because that guy just chooses how to pronounce his names whatever way he wants. If his name is spelled Sean. That's Sean, but then if you've got Bean as Bean, isn't it Bourne? So shouldn't he be Sean Bourne? And if not, is he not Seen Bean? You can't have it both ways, Seen Bean. God damn it!
Would it be Bon or Vaughn? If it's seen from to Sean, would it be Bean to Bon or Vaughn?
Yeah. Oh man, we've just opened a can of worms here.
I don't know these words. I just
Sean
know
Vaughn.
that I saw the post the other day that they're going to do that. So, I mean, I'm kind of interested
cool.
to see where that story goes. But it's like, part of me is like, I don't see CG putting in like Tales of the Jedi characters. Like, as much fun as it would be to get like a light side Count Dooku,
That would be
don't
cool.
see it happening per se.
Hey,
'Cause
man,
I don't think he has
go
a
and
place in the. He doesn't have a
he
place
can go
to
and play
go.
with Keller and Beck.
Kevin Keller.
Him and Keller and Beck.
Cullen can team up.
That'd be
Awesome.
great. And a young Qui-Gon Jinn. And then we've got a 3v3 team with some 3v3 Omicrons. Padawan gone.
Padawan Obi-Wan too.
Oh, yeah.
And then we need Padawan Anakin, and then we've got the trifecta.
Yeah, it's like, hey
just
guys, do you want the
have Anakin
underpowered versions of all of your favorite Jedi? I would say Masters, but it's poor Anakin. All of your Jedi Knights.
That would be a funny thing to do, is to do what they did at home with a shattered timeline. Take a shattered timeline and be like release Jedi Master Anakin Skywalker as a GL.
Oh my god!
Start doing Star Wars what ifs, basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what if characters? Yeah. I'm down for it. What if
funny.
Palpatine was actually a good guy, and he's just there for the betterment of the galaxy? What if Padme broke bad? May. I'd take it. I'd take it. Mm-hmm. Mama Padme. Oh.
I'm down.
We could have the dark side Rey then.
What if Obi-Wan said yes to that Death Stick?
Just spirals down into addiction. Yeah.
He resurrects Maul and becomes his apprentice.
I thought you were going to go full on, like they become a couple, because all that anger, that's really just lust, right?
Yeah.
It's just unfettered lust. They just really want to settle down.
Pretty hot and wild hate fucking going on right there.
Oh,
folks.
yeah. With a double-ended dildo, I guess.
Oh, God. Well, I mean, the bottom half of Maul is going to be robotic, so that might have some positives and some negatives.
Well, I mean, as long as there's plenty of lubrication, we'll be good. Hey, not wrong. And you know what they say about AC/DC as well. You know, AC/DC is kind of slang for being bisexual as well. So, I mean, we're hitting all of the jokes today, man. All of the jokes. Yeah. Goddamn. If it wasn't an explicit podcast before, it certainly is now. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a disturbing look into what Star Wars could be if they embraced the R-rated content.
This is the fun part of just having a bunch of
Take it off
maniacs
Disney Plus
to have a discussion, because it's like, we are the epitome of like shiny in a grocery store. Just like any conversation, you're like, exit ramp, let's take it, let's go, let's see what that one says. It's like, wait a minute. That's not Solo related.
No. It could be, though.
Or Star Wars related, or anything related.
Yeah,
no, but legitimately, we need some actual, like, more heavier, grittier, like more R-rated type Star Wars action. We need some stuff where there's some actual consequences, some actual stakes, some actual, like, damn, this feels intense, something going on, as opposed to kind of. I love me some Star Wars. I love me some Ahsoka and everything, but a good amount of it felt like, not childlike, but there's not a whole lot of stakes. It didn't feel like Andor. It felt like, oh my God, something is on the edge right now. What the hell is going to happen? I need some more like actual intense shit back in my Star Wars. 100%.
Well, I mean, for me, this was a part of the massive appeal of the Netflix Marvel TV series. When you look at like Jessica Jones and Daredevil, like,
yes,
they were not afraid to show
perfect comparison,
proper, brutal, consequential violence in those shows. And it was gripping. It was so nice. And you look at shows like The Boys, for example. It's kind of fucked up, don't get me wrong. But there is definitely an audience of people that want to watch, I don't want to call it adult theme because it makes it sound like I'm talking about sex, but, like visceral action in fantasy-based settings. There's a place for it. I know Star Wars has always been, even George Lucas has said, it's a kids-oriented universe. It's made for kids. It's not made for the adult content. But, it could be. There can be an element of the market that would enjoy seeing something that has a little bit more heft to it, a little bit more weight, a little bit more, emotional payoff to it. I'd be down to watch that sort of shit all day, every
You
day.
think about the troopers, the night troopers that were in this most recent Ahsoka show. That
Yep.
I wasn't a big fan of the books. I'm not a big like horror or anything like that personally fan myself. But the Death Troopers book that came out a while ago was a huge like favorite amongst like Star Wars fans. People who liked horror, people who liked the Star Wars stuff, and that was like this, the virus was taking people over and that sort of crazy stuff in there. And the Death Troopers and the Night Troopers in that Ahsoka show had some harkening back to that. And people are like, yes, I want that, but then they're like shambling around and they're not cutting off limbs and they're not actually fighting them, and it's just like it's like we get so close to it and then they just like they just pull their punches.
It's like
So-
it's okay. Like it's okay to cut off limbs, guys. In Star Wars, it's happened. We've seen it in plenty of the films. It's happened. You can still do that. It's okay. We're not saying you need blood spurting everywhere. You don't have to. I'd still be down for it, by the way. Still totally be down for it.
One may say it's a theme in Star Wars. It happens in probably every episode.
Somebody's
Someone
limb getting
loses a limb.
severed. Usually a protagonist as well. It happens quite a bit. It's okay to have that included. I'm down for it. Let's do it. So yeah, but I'd be totally cool with that. Like, it doesn't even have to be mainstream. It doesn't have to be like the mainline film series is violent. They can do a completely offshoot, not involved at all in the main canon universe. It can still be canon, but it could be following complete side paths on complete different galaxies of people within a Star Wars universe that is more mature. I would watch it 100%. Like, not everybody has to be a Jedi, a Sith, and a Skywalker. Yeah, exactly.
And that's how Mando started off. Mando starts off, the dude has his whatever rope thing and pulls somebody into a doorway and chops him in half by closing the door on him. Like, that started off bad.
Exactly. Like,
we need more of that.
More of that, please. Absolutely. Like, you got the feeling in the first couple of episodes of Mando season 1, you get the feeling of, oh wow, Mando's just kind of ruthless. He's just kind of ruthless.
Oh, yeah.
Let's face it. Like he don't give a shit. That changed pretty quick. That changed pretty damn quick. But he was still a badass. Don't get me wrong. But
oh yeah, he's still disintegrating Jawas.
That's okay. They had it coming. They were looking kind of shifty with those hoods. You know what I mean?
It really
Can't see their faces. Yeah.
They did steal most of his ship.
Well, yeah, I would be pissed off if they stole my shit too. Yeah, exactly.
And then the next season it just gets decimated from space. So, cool.
Mando's not allowed to have a ship, I guess. I mean, he's got that Naboo starfighter now, which is really cool. That was actually really cool in Book of Boba Fett / Mando season 2.5. That was a cool little build-up. But I can't help but think, how does that ship help him be a bounty hunter? He can't carry any bounties in that ship. It's
100%.
It's cool, but not practical. You know what I mean?
It's just not a bounty hunter ship. It's a starfighter. It is 100% designed for dogfighting. That's the whole point of that craft.
Yeah.
And they're just like, yeah, we're just gonna just break all the rules with that, and because it looks cool and nostalgia's sake. Ready? Go.
It's exactly it. You know what it is? It's a shiny object for us to go,
Yes.
oh, it's the Naboo Starfighter. Yay. Like, that's why it's there. That's it.
Hold up. If it's a shiny object, shouldn't we be getting distracted and talking about it more? We should be like, well, hey, wow, check out that shiny starship, guys. Isn't it smooth like a phallus?
Baby.
All right.
But yeah, for real. Yeah.
But yeah.
So eventually, let's circle back on that doodle all the way back to the raid, I guess. It's probably coming soon, by the end of the year or January. Yay.
Yeah, that's a 3 month. That's a 3 month window, right? That's soon.
Exactly.
And in the meantime, I got my item to hire relics for that damn Empire counter to the Leviathan, which when it works, it just works beautifully, man. Oh my god.
The only time that doesn't work is when the AI decides to reinforce with the Emperor shuttle.
Oh, the shuttle's a dick.
And
yeah.
it places a taunt. You're like, fuck off.
It's not even that part of it that's the issue. The part of it that's the issue is that when you're attacking Sith, they gain protection up in the process.
Protection up, yeah.
So it's harder to kill out Sith fighter in time. You can still do it, but if it like when I was doing a run earlier, it came out and the first thing it did was heal Sith fighter, so it was back to full health and half protection. And then when I went and did my attack into it, it didn't. The protection up kept it from dying. So then the run went to hell because
the defender's doing 3 attacks, so it gets 3 instances of protection up.
Yeah, which is frustrating. Yeah. Well, what I find messes up my run most of all is if, like, I go for a hit. Say it's the Sith fighter, for example. Go for the hit with TIE fighter, and I don't land a crit. And if I don't crit, I don't kill it in one hit. And then it tends to just like throw everything out of whack. I'm like, oh crap, I didn't kill the Sith fighter out the rip, and now he's getting a boosted TM. If you're going to tell me to Relic 9 my Sith TIE fighter pilot,
I mean,
I'm a Hebrew
seven, and they're staying there. Yeah, I'm with you, Scribe.
Come on. All right.
Exactly, Wulfffff.
You got the materials just laying around. You've got nothing else to work on. There's no other GLs in the horizon.
I'm not working on GL layer. Am I not working on GL layer? God damn it.
No, you're taking a GL break because you got that slacker after 6 years. So you gotta take some time to season that rage because
I will never forgive CG releasing those packs right after I actually did it the hard way and wasted all that gear. And I could have basically been ready for GL layer now. But no, I had to blow it all on stupid first order. Stupid.
It's a rough life.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Just like IG-12 would say. Yes. 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 Yes.
Yes.
God damn it. But hey, in like 6 weeks, I might be farming layer. So I think so, yeah. We should probably get a kit reveal for that this week, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that.
What? Which one do you think? Do you
IG-12
think they'll do at the same time, or do you think they'll do one of them before the other?
I think we'll get IG-12 first, and then the very next week, I think we'll get Kelleran. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm expecting a massive team damage immunity bubble shield. All right, I'm calling it right now. Grogu
immune to burning.
Is going to have a bubble shield, immune to burning, something like that, and just like a massive team thing. He's gonna protect everybody, and it's gonna be great. I'm calling that right now. That's to be one of Grogu's abilities. Done, easy.
He's gonna be a support.
He's gonna have
support. Yeah, he'll be able to like force push people out of the way and stuff. That's what he was mostly doing in that battle. So probably some of that stuff. He'll like force distraction. I think I'll have some fun stuff.
Yeah, force cuteness.
I think it'll be good. Force cuteness. Yes.
Yeah. So what do you think, Garth? Do you think we're getting them together? You think we're getting them a week or two apart, or?
Well, it kind of goes on the mindset of when do they plan on releasing this? Because every event they've done in the past has always usually been like the week before New Year's or the week after New Year's. So right now that's 2 months out, which means either they're going to release it without, it means two things. Basically, it's either they're going to release it and early, and nothing's going to be farmable yet besides Paz, so you're going to miss it unless you wailed hardcore on all the characters, or it's going to be have to be sometime into early January to actually mid to late January if it's going to come out, because you need basically 60 days from the event launching to when it comes out. So it's my suspicion would be is that I can't imagine them having that they've already announced both. I can't see a purpose in them putting them off 2 weeks of, putting like a week or two in between them.
Well, so I mean, you say that, but we had like Drogon announced. It felt like 2 months before we even came to the holotables. Like, it took a while for him to drop. But I do agree. I think mostly for me, the reason behind it is I think it's going to be a December release, or at least New Year's release. And if they don't release these characters soon, they're running the fuck out of time.
Well, it's that, or it's goes right to being whale food, where the only way you're going to get them if you farm them. Which I don't like that mentality for limited time release. That's kind of where I get upset with that mentality. If it was a permanent release like Jabba and Leia, I don't love that the characters aren't farmable yet, but I understand why they do it that way. But the event's permanently available. You're not missing out. You get caught up when you get caught up.
Right.
You weren't going to be caught up sooner.
Epic confrontations aren't like that, though.
Yeah, they're a 3-day event for the most part, and they come by once every 3 to 4 months. So
it's like the gas event. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, gas.
So that's where I get
right?
a little concerned about the that potential of that launching without them being farmable, because it's like it's going to be a huge thing for a lot of people to miss, because it's just going to be it's going to suck. But
well, I mean,
the thing is too is we'll find out in a month when Bo's coming, no matter what, right? Because if Bo doesn't come in December, she will not be in the Datacron set. So that'll give you an indication of when she's coming, because they're planning on releasing a Datacron set with her.
It feels because they've already told us that, right? They've said with her Datacron, so we already know they've planned it.
It's coming.
And
so the question boils down to,
that definitely makes me feel like it's going to land the same time, because the funny thing about that is we'll get Dark Trooper Moff Gideon the same time, so we can go full sort of. Well, I don't know. They probably won't give him a Mandalorian tag, will they? No, they don't. Dark Trooper Moff Gideon.
No, he doesn't. He
doesn't have the Mando tag. Yeah, I was going to wonder, because they could do a Datacron set, which it could just be Mandalorian, and we could have Dark Side Mando and Light Side Mando, essentially, faction-wise.
Right.
They'll probably put.
He would still be leading some Mandalorians. He could still be with some Mandalorians, but
he's still with them. Yeah, he's got synergy with them. He's got synergy with Mandalorians, but he does not have.
No, he's predominantly Remnant, right? So if anything, we'll have a Mandalorian faction tag, and we'll have an Imperial Remnant faction tag in that Datacron set, at least, and we'll probably have one or two more.
There's also the question for me of how, realistically, how important do you think Bo is actually going to be? Because she's not for the new raid, she's not for any of that stuff. She's going to be a new legendary, and of course, the legendaries are always very powerful characters and all. But Karth, realistically, how many teams do you have left over at the end of the GACs? And if you go pretty heavy on defense, if you go pretty heavy on offense, how much is one more legendary really going to shift everything in the land of 8 galactic legends?
Well, and that's the thing that CG's crafted, right? Is Datacrons change what is most effective every season, or every set that rotates through. And so, if Bo-Katan can be a powerhouse offensive GL killer, she's going to be very useful, because there's just going to be a lot of options of what you can use her against and what you can play it against and things like that. But if it's going to be like, hey, Bo-Katan beats Rey or JML or Slacker, characters that people do not.
Right.
Well, Rey is fairly common, but the other two aren't. Plays on defense, then she's going to have next to no use, because it's like, unless she's really hard to kill without using a GL, then the only real reason to push for her would be that she's offensively capable of dealing with a high priority GL like JMK or Lord Vader or Jabba or Leia. If you can deal with one or two of those, that are common, kind of GAC staple defense characters, then she's going to have some viability.
This is why I'm saying, man, that Grogu is going to have some sort of burn immunity, like taking no damage from burning attacks. Drogon is going to sit there like a chump. He won't really.
I mean, as long as he's got that Kron, though, who cares? That Kron's going to destroy your face.
Yeah,
but that's just kind of where it's at. It's like if the team has defensive viability, or it has the ability to kill a good GL, then it's going to be worth going after, because that's going to be a fact that's going to exist at all times. But the way they're kind of constructing things is like CG is kind of basically going, okay, we're taking like 3 to 4 GLs every set that can get boosted somehow through what we have available, and then we want to translate that into where the kind of the meta sits, and the other ones just kind of don't do as well during that time. and then as it rotates through, it changes up to get to power up other ones. Now, granted, this set 11's got quite a few. If you build them, there's quite a few datacrons that bolster the GLs that are present, and so it's
definitely
useful. But if there is a strong case of putting Lord Vader with Reva Inquisitors back again with this current datacron set with some of the combinations you can get on that level 6 that
stacking defense can be irritating as schmuck.
So can the riposte.
No.
When you call Seven Sister to assist every turn.
Yes.
You put that buff on basic, she's gonna start slapping.
I mean, she has to get called to assist. I'm thinking Phoenix counter here. That's the one that's coming to my head.
Oh yeah,
she's not going to assist against that team.
As long as the Kron's in play for set 10, Phoenix will be able to beat Lord Vader Inquisitors. Once that drops out, it's not happening.
Oh, I agree.
You'll get smoked every day of the week.
Without that, man, holy crap.
Yep.
Yeah, without that ramping offense, you won't do anything.
Well, you'll still have it in. Is it TW? TW, yeah.
It's
with
Hera, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but which I have because well, you've seen how heavily invested into Phoenix I am. I might as well get that army.
You might as well.
Or I've got it kicking around a couple of Relic 9s. You might as well throw in an army. I don't regret it. I'll be honest. It's fine.
No big deal.
Yeah.
But and so there's a case to be made for some of these GL teams to get condensed back into being just annoying powerhouses to have to kind of work around. Because like JMK versus Reva Inquisitors, it's annoying. It's not impossible, but it's annoying.
Not impossible, but said not impossible, but annoying. And we lost Karth 2. Oh my god. God damn it. Gotta have the Omi cherry on top. Yo, Urban Blaster. The Omicrons are always important. Omicrons make the world go round. Don't you know this by now? Come on.
Yeah, those things. Little white droplets of goodness.
I love them stealing the random Greek letters for all the random stuff. Is in the Omicron. The Omicron ability is do stuff. Right. Gotta talk about your god damn it, Evo. Yeah, I'm working on my Relic 9 Kira. I have the materials. I'm gonna play it later, you asshole. Think you're funny? What's up? Yeah, we got a Relic 9 Kira. And unfortunately, I have a Relic 5 Leia right now. So
that's rough.
I just unlocked Leia. Yeah, fun times. Unfortunately, I need a Relic 9 Kira first, and then we can work on getting Leia up and running.
I mean, luckily, you have a week between GACs here where you can build that up, and Conquest will give you access to the materials to kind of expedite it. At least.
Conquest. You had to remind me. Conquest opens tomorrow. I was having a good Sunday. We were relaxing. We were chilling. And then
gonna get that Conquest pass and 2 accounts, and then I'm gonna just sit here for hours every day grinding on that. Now, luckily, with this one, what's up?
I was gonna say we got Jedi Cal now, so I can do the Jedi Cal one, because there was that one feat where it was have Jedi Cal surviving, and I couldn't do that one, and now I can.
Well, that saves you 4 burritos. Look at you go.
Yeah. You can look at me go.
You can skip one of the Sector 1 or 2 global feats.
Somebody say burritos. I'm hungry. I'll take a spicy chipotle with habanero sauce burrito. A little bit of shredded beef in there. And some jalapenos, please.
That sounds delicious.
Yes, please.
Oh, my God. No. This heartless bastard decided to remind us that Conquest starts tomorrow.
And at that note, we're going to end the stream, guys. And thank you for joining us for Tribe Talks once again. Yeah, fuck. Okay, cool. But I mean, yeah, it is right. At least we will be able to go to the little Jawa scavengers and be like, hey, give me all that relic data you're holding on to.
You're gonna. It's gonna help me expedite the next relic on the alternate account. I'll get through Scout early next week, and then just got to work on Kanisa. Drogon finished yesterday, so.
I have the stars on Nisa, but fuck, I'm not relicking her until I absolutely have to. She can stay. She can get relicked after Lobot. Like
it's it's so sad that she's such a like. I like the Ewok team. They actually have some really interesting potential. But it's the problem
By
that
he means timeout.
Well, interesting ties into
CG cares about
their
right
Datacron potential is what I'm looking at more than anything. But it takes heavy mod investment, which I don't think a lot of people are gonna do. You're not gonna move your best mods over to a bunch of Ewoks to counter
Paplu
gas.
up to crazy speed. I mean, Paplu gets the speed bonus, and you need this guy who has like this insanely low base speed to be at like 280 speed to get the 25% to like do anything remotely useful. It's just, Ewoks, man. Freaking murder barrels.
Freaking Ewoks. Like, I don't have the mod depth to be worrying about Ewoks right now. I could do with like doubling up my plus 25s before I worry about trying to make Ewoks do something outside of the memes. Don't let your memes be dreams, guys.
They can clean up Grievous.
They can. Hey, well, Wulfffff, I mean, I'll say this. 7-star Nisa with like gear 11 turns the C3PO event into a joke, because I went in there with absolutely no mods on Nisa and no remodding on my Ewoks, and I basically full autoed it. I was like, oh, okay. Turns out Nisa makes this event really easy. I think I took out Elder and used the standard stuff, because that to me, the C3PO event was probably the hardest legendary event they've ever released. Mostly because you just can't be asked relicking your Ewoks, but
yeah, pretty much, because I didn't want to put any investment on the Ewoks whatsoever. So I had like gear 11, and that was like, oh god, gear 11 on Wicket. Oh no. I mean, he's
I did 10s and 11s.
Have him gear 12 across the board.
All the Zetas
applied. That was the easy event.
Right. Can you tell who the whale of the chat is? Oh, by the way, that's the new name that we've got ourselves. It's still the Tribe Talks, but we're the Welsh, the whale, and the wolf. So I like alliteration, so it makes me smile on the inside.
Yes,
it's because Wulfffff is Welsh, guys. No, he's Greek, but
oh come on, no, he's American. The flag in the back means nothing.
He's a Greek.
America.
And Grecian?
Well, according to Gret, I'm from Finland, but just go with that.
You're from Finland? Is that where Dr. Finn's from as well?
At one point, I had hopped into one of Gridden's streams, and he was completely confused by the flag and my background. And for some reason, he thought it was the flag of Finland. And so it was it's been a meme on his channel for a while. That
Wulfffff guy, he's Finnish. Yeah, okay, cool. I mean...
Thank you. Yes, I'm Finnish.
All I can say is there were some similar... I was going to say there were similar colors, and there's a cross.
Yes,
it's not the right
blue and white
way
cross.
Around.
Yes,
but
no.
I get it.
No,
there are worse flags to mistake. I guess there are worse flags to mistake.
Yes. But, it's not like I looked at it and said, "Oh, Brazil, right?" No, like that would have been bad.
Oh, so you're Japanese.
That would have been
bad. North Korea, huh? Okay, wow. I didn't know you were allowed to stream from North Korea. Good to know.
Awkward.
Awkward. Well, yeah. So Wulffff's Finnish.
Literally in North Korea, his internet couldn't reach Twitch. So
yeah, exactly. They probably have their own version of. I was going to say something incredibly racist there, so I'm not going to finish that sentence.
Glorious Twitch. It's glorious Twitch.
Glorious Twitch. Yeah, exactly.
Only one channel, dear glorious leader.
Exactly. So yeah, what were we even talking about? I've completely gone off the reservation once again. So if anybody can actually follow this.
That's why I went off the reservation, because
no long.
Scarza. Oh God.
It's no wonder we started talking about North Korea.
It's basically a work camp, right? It's servitude. You got to go do it. There's no choice. You just show up and got to grind away for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Luckily, it's only 2 weeks. So
it's Lord and Savior Redbox.
yeah.
You got to make sure we do those feats. All in the name of the glorious Redbox. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, no. To be honest, like it's a shitty conquest. Like it's just if you don't get the Pass Plus, it's a grind.
Yeah.
It's
This
it's the
particular
grindiest
one-
conquest we've ever had.
Yeah, this one's
by
pretty
some
bad.
way.
by far.
Yeah. So
Yeah, this one's not fun, but it 100%. Like they're incentivizing conquest. Jesus Christ, conquest plus pass through basically making the
It hurts to say,
achievement
right?
to get
Oh
those
God.
it does.
getting those consumables.
Yeah,
Getting those
that let
consumables.
you skip 2 feats, basically, right?
Yeah, well, 100 kills with warrior. I mean, those are doable. They are 100. Now that we have everything figured out, they're doable, and you can even do them without voluntary vanguard.
Jesus, yeah.
But it's possible, but it's just not as much fun. Which I don't know if CG ever wants Conquest to be fun again, because
it really boils down to like how
conquest.
much do you value your sanity over $20? You know, like what matters more to you? Trying
Sleeping
to
at night.
get 100 kills with Tusken Warrior, and I know you can get like 25 plus kills in one battle on basically full auto, or spending $20. What's more important to you? You know,
30 a month is too much, man. It's too much.
It is like if that price point was a little bit lower, I think they would sell more. If it was like $20 in total, not $30,
yes,
I think it would probably sell quite a bit more. But
I mean, if they just took the
I've
Cairo
said the
out,
same thing for months.
the Cairo out of
Absolutely.
it, and made it $20, and that would be fine.
Yeah, I don't think
keep
anybody
trying to
buys that
sweeten the
pass.
deal instead of lowering the price.
Well, exactly. And I don't think anybody who buys that pass is looking at it and going, hey, I get 50 Kairos out of this shit. Boom, sold. No, it's usually just a case of, oh, I can skip 2 feats that are really grindy, and I get the ability to swap data disks for free, which should be free anyway, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But hey ho, that's just me.
I mean, to be honest though, there's only like 1 or 2 times I'll change my data setup after I have it established.
Well, yeah, I get where you're coming from, but for me, change like that actually inhibits the fun of Conquest. Yeah, being able to swap around stuff for fun, just to try new shit out. The fact that we have to pay energy for it to do it otherwise, I think gets in the way of the game mode being enjoyable. So I think it should be free, like out the rip. You should always be able to change your data disks without consequence. But
hey, I'm with you.
They're not going to do it.
I don't disagree with it, but they wanted to incentivize the pass, so
yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
That extra energy and that extra stamina and swapping those things for free. Think about how far ahead you'll be above your competitors if you are conquesting harder than them.
Yep. Yep. Got to sell that dream, baby.
That's what it's all
Got to
about.
sell that dream. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I get it. They've done a lot. Like when the Conquest Pass Plus first came out, it was just kind of a no-brainer. Like, no, I'm like, who the fuck spends money on this sort of thing? Mm-hmm. And they have done a lot to try and incentivize it more. But I still think, and you know, like Wulfffff was saying, is that the price point right now is still just a little too high for many people. I think there's a lot of people that just don't want to engage in it at a $30 price point for a 2-week event once a month. It's
for a mobile game.
For a mobile game. Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
Again,
you say
that. Bring that up again. Compare that to, you know, similar things in other games. What are you getting? What are you spending? What is the actual box and whatnot? For a freaking mobile game, $30 a month for this whole just for this little thing. It's a good investment.
Yeah.
Hey, people spend $300 to get a new marquee, and those cleats come out twice a month. So
Yeah, but those are two very different demographic, right?
I do not wail on the marquees very often.
No, actually, to be fair, you only wail occasionally on the marquees and apparently on a lot of home marquees.
I mean, but it's only to 5 stars. It's not like I'm taking them to 7. So it's like
just for the extra Omicrons and stuff.
It's just $100, not 300.
Yeah, it's just a little different.
Yeah, it's a third the cost, guys.
Going to 5 stars does help get that extra Omicron income and whatnot, because I'm always shy. I'm always short on Omicrons. I always need some more. I'm sitting there scrounging and saying, what am I applying where, and do I have room to do this Omicron? Should I think about applying the Scout Omicron? It's definitely not easy. So getting those packs and getting them to 5 stars and whatnot, and also getting those $30 packs, which include Omicrons. That really does help that Omicron flow a good amount. And like I said, I am always short on everything. I have 2 1-star killer, 2 on Malgus. I am just criminally low. Oh, I know.
There's you probably have more Omnis invested than I do. But I guess I usually focus, like I have a character, I'm like, no, you get all of your Omicrons, except for Reva. She doesn't get all her Omicrons. She doesn't need all her Omicrons. But Starkiller got his, I was like, yes, all yours. You get all of yours. I don't care if they're not entirely clutch. They help. And I value
like
those
Seer,
I put Seers, yeah. I put all 3 on Malicos, actually. I didn't have enough to do all 3 at first. I had to wait like an extra week for his last one on the Die Whelp, but I put all 3 on.
In fairness, the reason why that was the case is because you put the Ami on a Hera instead of saving
that's Malicos. True. That's true. I don't regret that at all.
I'm with you. I'm just saying, like, there was a reason you didn't
you're
have
a big doo-doo head. Yeah.
So is that doubling your stacking in TW right now?
Is that doubling? What's it? Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, doubles the offense stacking right now, currently with Drogon and her, and that's pretty phenomenal. And like honestly, like the AOE backup plan, so everybody gets a revive, is just great.
Part. That's the huge part.
It's like doesn't matter if you kill the tank or anybody, they're definitely coming back. And I'm like, unless it's overvive prevent.
That can be prevented, right? Or is that
It can be prevented. It can be. So if they go into ult or if they use a disintegrate, it can be. But usually when you die with one of those units, it's not from a non-revivable position. Because like maybe against Jabba, he might hit his ult once before you kill him. Lord Vader doesn't tend to ramp fast enough in his ult to actually kill you. Usually
he'll get like one move off. I've seen you do those battles.
He might get he'll definitely get the ult meter. He might get to his ult, but he'll only do his first special. You won't do the AoE crush usually because he's usually dead before that comes around. Which is great.
So in theory, technically speaking, backup plan does say that this revive can't be dispelled or prevented.
Oh really? Oh, okay. Well, I guess I was wrong then. That's cool.
But the reason why Hera's Ami really helps is because it fills out.
You say the revive can't be prevented?
Yeah, it's what it says in backup plan. Recover 10% health per turn.
Does it say the buff can't be prevented, or the revive can't be?
Buff can't be prevented, or the revive can't be prevented.
Yeah, that's important.
Backup plan's description: recover 10% health per turn. Revive with 80% health and 30% turn meter. Can't be dispelled or prevented.
Okay, so I think that's just the buff.
It might just be the buff.
Might be.
I think it's just the buff can't be. It sounds like it's a locked buff.
Yeah,
it's a locked buff that can't be dispelled or prevented.
If you have buff immunity, it means you can't. You can still get it. You're not stopped from having it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but it won't revive under a gas lead.
Shouldn't know.
That's what I mean. So if you're facing gas, you won't revive. But if you have buff immunity, you'll still get it.
Yeah,
that sort of thing. Okay.
I assume that's probably how it works. I've never wasted Phoenix
That's what
on
it sounds
gas.
like, yeah.
Like that's it.
But I mean,
they got bigger fish to fry.
Just throwing it out there. Just
Yeah.
throwing it out there. Just as
the
a
Omicron though is just bananas though,
It's
because
great.
it helps fill in the gaps of the Phoenix team weaknesses. So you start out with 100% counter chance. You don't have to ramp for it. You get additional 50% max health. You get another 30 speed, which will replace the
30% additional. The guaranteed counter chance is more important than it seems at first glance, because it guarantees that your Captain Rex counterattacks when Lord Vader opens up with his crush, which then basically guarantees that he crits, which means he's going to dispel buffs on his team. Dispel debuffs on his team, which means they can gain turn meter. It's actually incredibly important to have that counter attack and start critting, because it means you can start to ramp TM and everything like that. Like I was saying, it's actually really clutch, that extra counter chance, because that's what sometimes causes that counter to fail in Squad Arena. Is Rex didn't counter attack on the first move, and now I can't gain any turn meter, and I'm dead. So okay, cool. But yeah. It's a good army. It's a good army, especially if you've got the Kron as well. But yeah. Sorry, Garth, I cut across you then, mate. Just wanted to point that out. I just needed
You're
to say
fine.
it.
But yeah, it's going to be a good team. And still going to be useful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm also Captain Rex. I don't have a full Phoenix team, so he's probably going to end up hanging out on the Leia squad for a little bit, just as the fifth over there. I'll put old Ben and then Captain Rex. I got no other real use for the guy.
He's also incredibly obnoxious under Saw Gerrera.
Oh, Saw Gerrera.
Saw Gerrera, okay.
Yeah.
I imagine he's good under Momo as well, right? But
he's okay under Momo, but Momo doesn't really utilize his kit very well. But with Saw, getting the extra, he's already a fast character. That's the main thing. Saw's already or not Saw, but Captain Rex.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they lose the percent health at the start of the battle, they gain speed in response to that. So they gain 50 speed for every ally below 100% health, right?
Oh,
so Rex is fast.
Again.
Yeah, Rex is fast. And the first thing he does is to AoE tenacity down and daze. You make Cara Dune just a little slower than him. Oh, the first thing that happens is you get tenacity down, AoE days, and then your turn meter stripped.
Turn meter removal.
Then Saw just beats the crap out of you.
Fun times for a character that is probably going to sit at Gear 12 for me for the next 6 to 9 years. But yeah.
It's at Gear 12 as well. Shh.
Don't tell Garth. He'll get grouchy.
Gear 12 exists.
That's just a stopping point between I hit the upgrade all button again.
Yeah. I don't think I've hit a character that when I get them to 7 stars and go that I haven't been able to immediately go right to Gear 13.
Oh god, it's the fucking first world problems here. Karth is like, what does Gear 12 even do? Like, what is that?
I mean, nothing in my account is Gear 12, so it's clearly that's the mantra that's got to exist.
Hey, we got Dylar in the chat. How you doing, Dylar?
Hey, what's up, Dylar? Gear 14 when? Oh, eventually. After Relic 10. We'll get Relic 10 and then Relic 10 we'll get to the Gear 14.
We've got to find a completely new way of gear progression, right? I mean, we've got relics, we've got armies, and got your gear levels. They need something else. What else can they do? Force influence levels or something, I don't know. Artifacts. Now they've got them already. They're relic artifacts, right?
Relics.
Yeah, but now we get
now you can gear the relic artifact.
Yeah, now you can improve the artifact.
So you're saying we could relic our relics? So let's cool relics, bro. How about I put some relics in your relics?
So you can relic while you relic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
For 1,000 Carbonite Circuit Boards, you can go up 1 tier on 1 character. Good luck.
And that gives you 1 speed. Congratulations.
Oh, God. You know how many people would do it too, though? You know how many people would do it to have 1 more base speed on a character.
Yep. Yeah. Kyber 1 is just full of these relic 17, relic 17s. Because it's, cubed or something. I don't even fucking know. Gone off the reservation at this point. Good times.
Interesting proving grounds for testing your mettle of what you know of Swogga and how to play things.
Yes. I mean, my Gex recently have actually surprisingly, I've been winning, and I'm as surprised as you are because I suck at 3v3. So I won round 1 convincing. Round 1 of this GAC week was great for me. I had so much fun because my guy just set 7 GLs on defense, and I was like, oh, that's a lot of GLs. And I want to say 3 on defense, but also still had stuff like, Reaver and Malakos and Starkiller with Malakos. So that's Malakos twice. I've got 2 Malakoses on defense. So I had quite a bit on defense, and we still... how do you get 2 Malakoses? I would like 17 of them. And we still managed to get the full clear. Yes. As well. They come in pairs.
Let's just take all these characters to the Star Forge and start duplicating.
Yeah, exactly. Whenever you beat one, you just push out another one. But yeah, we got the full clear on that guy who had 7 GLs.
One head, 2 grown in face.
Super pleased with that. And I think he got stuck on my back wall south and my north wall. He couldn't kill Malgus. So I managed to win that one, because if he'd have cleared that north wall, it could have been problematic. And then second round, the guy set 6 GLs on defense. So I could kill 7, so I surely be able to kill 6. I think we got the full clear again. And he attacked twice and gave up. So I'm like finding myself in the finals against a guy with 2 million more GP than me. And I'm like, oh, he's got 12.5 million GP to my 10.5. I think I lose. He's a more Vanguard player.
Easy clap.
Easy claps, man. Easy claps. So yeah.
Fine.
How's your Gex week going, guys?
Round 1, I got the win. I got the full clear. And then my opponent, he attacked the top zone. He dropped, I think, 1 or 2 battles, and he cleared it. He attacked the bottom front zone. He dropped 1 or 2 battles, but he cleared it. And then he stopped. He's just like, you know what? I have done my due diligence. I have 3v3'd, and I am complete. And he just stopped, and so I got the win.
He wasn't just biding his time for the last 10 minutes to try and sneak in a win. He was just like, I think we'll just leave it there. Okay.
Yeah, you know what? Job well done. We cleared 2 zones. I got 1,000 banners. Cool, we'll call it. Why not? Round 2 against somebody with like 13 million GP and Leia and lots of everything. So I got the clear, but I didn't get the win. So it happened. So we'll see for round 3 how
I always find that really odd, because every one of my matches consists of, it never comes down to an efficiency win. It's either, if I somehow manage to stall them out so they don't get a full clear, I probably win. Every other scenario, I just lose. It's like, if they full clear me, I'm like, I've just lost. But it usually doesn't come to that.
I got to play more on defense.
That's what happens when you're trying to non-GL kill GLs, especially in 3s. The counters are like they're multi-taps. You don't get another way around it. So
god, yeah, I did 3 multi-taps in round 1 on GLs, and it was the only way I could. And then, well, I did.
If he had Night Sisters,
if I had Night Sisters, I'd totally use them. No, I think I used Treya against his Jabber to kill the ads, and then Momo'd with the wrong Momo team and still somehow won. Because I
remember that. Like, why is Jin on this team? Oh God, Jin!
Well, it's not just that I took in Jin. It was that I also didn't take Kal Katarn. And I was like, oh, there goes all of my damage, basically.
But you brought in Cassian, and Cassian had the heal immunity, which
is clutch. Yeah, it did. But it was close, because he was like 1 turn away from ulting. And if he hits that ult, it's game over. Oh, no, he did ult, didn't he? He did, but he had heal immunity on him. So I won the turn after.
He ulted, ate Jin, but had a heal immunity and didn't get to full health. And then you won an auto attack, I think.
Yeah,
like a counter.
yeah. It was a bit of a, oh well, I'm fucked. Oh no, wait a minute, I won. Yay! Who else did I multi-tap? I managed to one-tap the Slacker with Imperial Troopers. That was cool. I was like, oh, okay. Don't set Slacker deck a zombie, guys. Imperial Troopers one-taps it.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, and you could have done more too, because once you have the days on Daka, you can just farm kills on zombie until you get high enough to basically one-shot Slacker.
Yeah, but instead I just killed everything.
Yeah, you went right for the throat.
I lucked out, I think, a little bit.
Luckily, well, he stunned Dark Trooper, which helped you a lot. Versus stunning Piet. So there was some benefits.
You got to get very lucky over there for that to work. If he goes and stuns the wrong person, you're just sort of dead.
Yeah,
but
it was good. It worked out, and then we multi-tapped his C. Right, we killed the ads, and then we wompered the C, but that was bloody close. Like we nearly timed out against C.
We were down like the last 20 seconds.
Yeah, and who's the last one that I multi-tapped? Wasn't JMK?
It's 3 now, so
JML. Oh, was that was 3?
It was Java,
okay.
C,
that
and
was
Slacker that we off count. Well, we didn't multi-tap Slacker, but we off-meted it.
Off-meted. Oh, so there was definitely someone else I think I multi-tapped. It wasn't JML. Because I used something against
the game
him.
Pulled open, you could just go and look.
I mean, yeah, but I like being clueless about stuff.
Karth,
don't spoil my fun. And Ryrock is absolutely right. I'm facing off against Ryrock's guildmate. But Ryrock, are you in more Vanguard? I didn't realize. Is it more Vanguard? It's more something.
No, he's an MC4, but I don't know what.
Not Vanguard. No.
Oh, maybe this guy's got more than one account, because the guy I'm looking at, Darth Muzzer is his name. He was in the chat earlier today, actually. And he's in more Vanguard. So does he have 2 accounts, Ryrock? Because he shows as more Vanguard. Oh, he's got 2 accounts. Gotcha. Okay, fine. That makes sense now. Yeah. Sorry, he doesn't have 2 million more GP than me. He's got 1.8 million more GP. I apologize. That 200k makes a big difference.
Whoa, 1.8, not 2 million, Scribe. You're just...
You're just being sensationalist now, Scribe. God damn it.
Come on.
Lying to people. God damn. So, Karth, how's your round 1, 2, and 3 gone?
Let's see. Round 1 on the main was pretty easy. My opponent dropped fights left, right, and center across the board.
Yeah.
Made it very easy to out-efficiency him. Round 2, my opponent went for an efficiency fight, which I suck at. So even if I hadn't dropped the 2 battles that I did, he still would have had 20 more banners than what I posted.
Oh,
like he scored a 2069.
Ooh, nice. That's really high, actually.
That's a really high score. I didn't have I had 3 GLs on defense. I had some decent stuff, but when he cleared the first 6 teams on my defense, he had a 56 banner average.
Oof.
By the time he cleared the rest of the board, he had a 56.5 banner average.
Oh, so he started underbanning.
Yeah, he was recovering the banners. GL solos. The only GL he had on defense was Leia. Everything else was the offense. Everything else.
Only the most obnoxious GL.
Yeah.
On defense. I mean, I get it. It makes total sense.
Oh yeah, because if you stall out or if you don't one tap and you're planning on just overkilling Leia with Slacker, Malgus, and not Malgus,
Malicos.
Jesus Christ.
Malicos.
Slacker, Malicos, and Maul all on the same team. That'll chew right through them.
I took Slacker, Malicos, and Crew yesterday and got it was dicey as fuck. Slacker sitting there in the yellow,
oh my god,
guy, come on! It was dicey. It was
absolutely what I'm going to take in.
It's terrifying.
If if ever I actually face someone with GL Leia, there was only one in my bracket this week, and I didn't match up with them at all, even in the finals.
Which is hilarious
But-
because I'm in my alts in Kyber 2, and
Yeah.
every opponent has had Leia.
Wow. So those guys have got all the gear and no idea.
Yeah, two of them were no alts yet, but my last opponent does have the alt on Leia, so it's like, well,
Oh god.
I'm just gonna take my 0-3 on the alt this week and enjoy the rest of my life. The account doesn't deserve even to be as high as I got it. I can't. The account didn't deserve to be in Kyber 1.
You got into Kyber 1, didn't you? Yeah. I was going to say because you climbed higher than my main.
Yeah, I went 12-0. Like literally the entire season of 5v5 in the first week of 3v3. I was undefeated. And then since then I've literally just taken. I think I'll be on my 6th loss at this point. But it's just
nice.
I can't change that. I don't have the characters. The
CG is trying to course correct and bring you back down to a 50% win ratio.
Well, that's
like,
part of it.
Guy.
But the big part is that I went from when I first started in the 5v5 on that one. It was in Kyber 3, and I was fighting people that had maybe one level 9 Datacron on their entire account, or at least for each set.
Oh.
And so where the Datacrons were at on the account currently, it was fine. I could get away with not needing them or using them for offense or defense to just smash the crap out of my opponents. And half the people looked at the GP difference and said, screw it, got one battle and called it a day. The account's 11.5 million fighting, in Kyber 3. There's a lot of lower level people in that neck of the woods.
Yeah.
And so skyrocketed out of there into Kyber 1. And then the lack of Datacrons and the lack of GL Leia is paying its toll now.
It'll bite you in the ass quick.
Yeah. Well, and it's just what it is. I went from being in an environment where it didn't matter to an environment where it's like I don't have a Datacron by the time I get to the back wall. I've used the 5 I have. So it's like,
hey, but on the plus side, Garth, Conquest starts tomorrow, so you'll be able to farm out some Datacrons.
Well, the advantage is that in the week in between, just through hitting the data cache and the stuff, I do have like another 3 or 4 that have been added, but you can't.
Nice.
You can't do that during mid GAC. But
no.
My last battle on the main account is gonna be interesting. They're a big player. They already have like 30 level 9 Datacrons.
Where is your main right now?
Somewhere inside the top 50.
Nice.
Actual rank, I'm not certain because I won the first round.
Yeah,
won the first round and then I lost the second.
I can't be bothered to keep track. Oh, dear me.
There's only like 48 other people better than me.
You just. I am currently exactly number 50.
Okay. So there are 49 people better than you. God.
If I lose this one, I will be knocked out of the top 50.
100.
But,
well,
I don't think I'll fall that far. If I lose one, I'll be probably in the 80s if I lose this next one.
I think I'm comfortably in the top 1,000.
Okay.
That's the fun part of Kyber 1.
That's Kyber 1.
Yeah.
Basically, isn't it?
That's the fun part for Kyber 1 for me though, is because in Kyber 1, if I am in the top 100, most things are fairly competitive for me. Towards the top 20, that's where you start getting people who are just absolutely going to town on min-maxing Datacrons, getting those perfect plus 30, 400% defense crons, getting everything set up for that. Those people are in they're a league of their own. I'm not willing to do that for a temporary benefit. Yeah. But the funny part to me is if I fall out of the top 100, then it's like, stealing candy from babies, because just the difference in Datacrons and mods and character development and everything else, it's just like they have no reason to fight me. Like they just look at my account and go, well, screw that. You're 13 some odd million versus my 10 or 11 or 12 or whatever that ends up being, and then they just say no. So it's like it's always kind of fun to fall out of the top 100 to go have an easy week, but at the same time, I like the competitiveness, so I'd rather stay. So it's always hard because it's like usually it's the first week of every season, doesn't matter if it's 3v3 or 5v5, my engagement level gets really shattered because I just don't. It's always like you have to learn the new datacrons, you got to learn the new counters, you got to know what works. The big guilds are theory crafting crazy, datacron setups that make teams that shouldn't work versus something work versus it, and so you don't know if that's going to impact your board, and so it's like you don't quite know all that stuff. So I always let the first week kind of ride, and then progressively as the weeks go on, I get more competitive. So I know what I'm doing, but yeah, it's a.
So there's like the ranges. There's the top 1 through 50 is those who like will invest in all the new stuff and all the new datacrons and all the new everything and like perfect their datacrons. And then like 50 through 200 is those who will invest in new stuff and invest in datacrons, but maybe not perfect all the datacrons. And then 200 to 500 is those who will invest in new stuff and some new datacrons and like that's like. It's like the investment points as we go up and down the ladder.
I think he was just saying like the top 20 is magnitudes sweatier than 30 to 50 or 21 to 50.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like as you go up the ladder, there's like it gets like a little bit tighter. So like there's the 200 to 500 bracket, and then like the 50 to 200, and then like the 30 to 50.
And that's why you see these people that aren't. That's why you see people who have accounts that like they aren't super sweaty. They happen to win those rounds. They wind up inside the top 20 or top 10 because their bracket pool started somewhere in the 50s, right? But if you go 3-0, you can climb quite far into the top 20 or top 10 of Kyber. And so usually what happens is you get these guys who go 3-0. In a week, and they wind up in like the top 16 of Kyber, and then you just get the piss beat out of them for the rest of the week.
They start swimming in some very deep and dark, murky waters with the Krakens have their own Krakens.
When you're fighting people that have like 400 rerolls
it's so
on
scary.
Datacrons, you start to like see the difference. It's like it's like the one thing I think people don't really account for is like when you look at how many times in the GAC comparison somebody's re-rolled, that tells you how invested their datacrons are.
Yeah.
It's like, because if you're at least doing it air quotes properly, every datacron should have at least 4 re-rolls that you have in your inventory. And if you're doing at least the minimum of high end of Kyber, you're probably doing about 20 datacrons.
Let me see. So my last one, I had
doing it properly. He's like, you must have a minimum this and this.
Where do I place then? Because my current reroll is 69, and I thought that was pretty nice. So what?
You want to have good ones.
You have the absolute pro status. You win datacrons. Congratulations!
Yay! Good. I said. I have landed in the total rerolls of 69, and I thought that was pretty nice. So, I mean, where does that put me in the scale of crazy people?
Yeah, you won datacrons.
Bottom tier scrub grubbler. Yeah.
Not that
How many have you got right now, Garth? On your rerolls?
God. Hold on. I'm going to actually pull up my current Discord one to find out, because I don't remember.
I'm so curious.
I've got to be in the 200s.
Oh my days!
Oh, I'm nowhere close to that. Let me do a quick GAC compare and see what
the hotbot says. If you don't have 420 rerolls currently, Wulfffff, you're playing it wrong.
I have got 296 rerolls.
290.
Yeah.
God damn. 290. All right. God. So I'm a worm. I'm a worm just crawling on my belly for datacrons.
The difference is how many level 9s do you have?
Oh, you should never ask a guy that, Garth. That's sensitive personal information. Let me see, 19.
Okay, I have 50.
Oh, okay, only 50. Only 50. 2.5 times more than what I've got. That's fine.
Yeah, so if you had 2.5 times more datacrons, you might have 2.5 times more rerolls.
Yeah.
Now that's unlikely because I doubt you were willing to spend on reroll mats, but
43 rerolls.
Yeah,
I had more rerolls than Wulfffff. Oh no.
Wolf, we don't give
I'm
no
one
fuck.
away from 42. I'm sorry. I was very
Where
close.
you were-
I'm a letdown.
Well, I would call that 42.0, Wolf. Really?
Yeah, exactly.
And then combined,
No,
we would have had 42.0 and 69, and it would have been the perfect round number.
I know.
But we failed.
No.
We failed.
I let
Damn
you
it.
down. 43.
Go re-roll real fast. Go find a Datacron and then dismantle it.
And unre-roll it. Yeah.
Unre-roll
One that
it,
you've-
exactly.
One that you've
that's how you
perfected.
unre-roll it.
Yeah.
You
It's the-
just dismantle
It's the easy way.
and you're-
Yeah.
Perfect. Done.
Yeah.
I'll
But,
let
I
them
mean-
level 9s.
11.
Now,
levels,
when
yeah.
I say these things of how it should be, Wolf, I'm specifically talking to people who want to be competitive, high-end GAC players, because you either have to invest or you have to be okay with losing.
Oh yeah.
Because
No,
that's-
100%. Without
yeah.
a doubt.
if you're not investing, you're not.
I'm
doing
not going crazy in my data
Yeah.
cron or anything. I'm
Oh,
okay
yeah,
with
no.
being like hanging out in Kyber 2, like top Kyber 2, bottom of Kyber 1 with barely any data cron investment. I'm okay with that. Like that,
Oh, yeah.
that does not bother me all
100%.
that much. If
No,
I
no,
start
I'm not
investing,
saying-
sure we'll climb, but that
Yeah,
we'll
well,
talk
no,
about that.
I wasn't saying you specifically. I'm just in players.
Yeah.
I feel targeted, Karth. Gosh.
In
Triggered.
a broad stroke. It's those kind of things, especially when you like look at like PvP competitive
stroking
guilds,
broads.
and
What?
you.
Hmm.
Well, last time that happened, I wound up in jail for the night. So,
I totally missed something there. Yeah, get him.
but I'll tell you one thing: you don't want to find the produce.
I definitely missed it. I must have just spaced out for a minute. And now whole entire other conversations are happening of which I have no knowledge. So send all complaints to carthrick@whalemail.com. And
Yes.
I have a
you'll-
very expensive postage, though. It takes $5 to get to me.
it's at least 1 volt to actually get a response.
Yeah. Some days, man, like I don't mind helping. I love to help people in this game. I like
That's true. Yeah.
figuring things out and then helping out and relaying that knowledge to other people. But there does come some days where I'm just like, man, it'd be really cool if I got paid for this shit.
Well, that was realistically
Side
one
business.
of the original reasons that I got into streaming and everything, because I was sitting there hanging out on streams, and I'm answering a question about this, I'm talking about this, and talking about this, and discussing things and whatnot, and eventually, Ed, our boy Eduardo could have eventually convinced me to start streaming, but that was one of the reasons that I've eventually agreed to it, because I actually enjoyed interacting with the community. And
Yeah, for sure.
hey, I know how to do this. I want to share the knowledge. I want all of the people in all the world to know all the things possible. And if I have something and I can share it, then let just everyone know everything. And just it's us against CG. Realistically, that's how I saw it. It's not
Sure.
a PvP game. It's the community versus CG. And if we can figure out our shit and figure out how to do it and cut through the BS, then we've succeeded as a community. And that's really how I viewed it. And I still try to keep on doing it that way. It's tough some days, but
Sure.
I still try.
Oh yeah. Oh God, yes. God, yes. It's a tough gig in general. Streaming and content creation. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. And for the vast majority of people, it's not a financially successful endeavor. So, respect to streamers out there, guys, because it's not just sitting down and playing games for 6 hours a day. That's not exactly what we do.
Not in paying the bills. Like,
oh God, no.
It's the same like rule as like even when you look at like now this is because I have the information on top of my head, but like you look at like when you look at OnlyFans, like 1% of the content creators on that site make good money, where most people make somewhere between $0 and $100 a month. Like the overwhelming majority, like 90% of people make $0 to $100 a month on that website, and then you have the same thing with Twitch has the same thing with with their high-end content creators. You have people that just make tons of money, and then you get somebody out here who's just hustling and grinding and having a great time, and you're just you're getting $100 to.
I know Scribe brought that up on from time to time, right? With like most
said it
of
many
Twitch
times.
streams to 5 or fewer viewers. Yeah.
Yeah. Less than 10 viewers is 99% of all Twitch. So basically, almost every Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes content creator on Twitch is a top 1%er as far as average viewership is concerned. Because quite a lot of people who stream Galaxy of Heroes actually stream to 15 plus, 25 plus. There's quite a lot of us because there's quite a lot of streamers, but there's even more viewers for Galaxy of Heroes, and there's not like it's different compared to like Call of Duty, which might have thousands of people streaming.
Exactly.
But like there's maybe 40,000 people watching, and 30,000 of them will go watch one or two people, and then the rest get distributed and get like a couple of views. We have maybe, I mean, Arnold is a different beast. He just has a couple of thousand no matter what he does. We usually have maybe 200 to 300 maximum people that watch Galaxy of Heroes at any given point, right? But there might be 3 people streaming at any given point. So those viewers get distributed there. So I might stream to an average. I think my average right now is about 45. And as far as like global Twitch streamers goes, like I'm probably a top 0.1% of all Twitch streamers on the planet.
Yeah.
Do I can't make a living off this. I can't. It's like, it's impossible.
I mean,
if
you could.
If I'm the,
you
oh,
could.
I don't think I could.
You'd really have to like let a lot of things go.
I'd have to
like your house.
completely
But the point
change.
is, like,
Your significant other, your cat,
eating
else.
in general.
Actually make a living.
Yeah,
The people who can
It's
actually make
very
a living off of Twitch are the top 0.1% of the 0.1% of the 0.1% of the. It's just
pretty much.
Yeah.
It's not, for most people, not a realistic thing. It's a little bit insane. But
Don't get me wrong. It's like, it's not like we don't make any money. We make a little bit of pocket money, which is nice. It's nice to be able to say that out of my hobby, I can make a little bit of money. And that's quite nice, but it's not a lot, and it's certainly not something that I could leave my job for. Yeah. That'll pass. Eventually, you just won't make any money at all, Scribble. Maybe. But hey, who knows? Who knows? I'll go into OnlyFans, and I'll make the top 1% there of male content creators.
To start an OnlyFans, and so
I did actually. Yeah, people voted that I need to make an OnlyFans. So I'm going to go up there and I'm going to put up photos exclusively of the back of my hand. So if you guys have got hand fetishes, it's only $100 to sign up.
Don't forget those.
Yeah, except my feet are hideous.
Pictures of Smudgy. What the fuck?
What the fuck, bro?
Well,
yeah.
Honestly, you know what would happen? You know what happened in Wolf? You know what happened in that one? Is somewhere in all of his hand and foot photos, Smudgy would show up, and then the people consuming the content would then be asking for the cat. The same shit we do on his streams.
I mean, that's the only reason I managed to get any viewers at all is because of the cat. And now I have 2. Smudgy is the OG, so he gets all the love.
Without a doubt.
He's the OG Smudges.
Keep multiplying in that fashion, you'll be all right.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, no, content creation is hard, guys. It's hard. I like my younger brother, for example. I have a big age gap between me and my youngest brothers. They're sort of early teens now, and he has expressed an interest into wanting to become a content creator, a streamer, and like my dad is turning to me as if to say, "Can you tell him that he could do this for fun, but don't make a job out of it?" And I was like, I will absolutely tell him that, because
talk some sense into him.
Nothing against you, kid. I love you. You're my brother. But the chances are so slim of you being able to actually, live and do this as a job. So maybe try and actually do it as a hobby.
And a lot of it is
it's not just Twitch though, because people who are actually, as the content creators and everything who are doing this whole thing, it is the entire social media presence, and it is the Twitter, I guess X, whatever bullshit. I don't know.
X, formerly known as Twitter.
It is the Who cares? It is that whole thing where you are having the whole. You are the streamer and the community and that everything presence. It's not. It's a whole lifestyle. It's making those clickbaity videos. It's doing all that stuff. It's a lot. God damn it, Karth.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let's be honest. Milo is smaller than Smudge, so that
Milo is
tracks.
smaller than all your cats. He's
Actually,
the smallest animal in your house.
Indy is longer and weighs nearly as much as Milo, and she's a 9-month-old kitten.
Yeah, so
what
she'll
does that tell you?
she'll put on some weight. She will outclass
Oh yeah,
him. In
she's still got some growing to do. Give her another 6 months, she'll be bigger than Milo for sure.
Well,
and way more.
The other thing too, when it comes to like content creation, it's kind of like one of those. It's one of those things where, in all honesty, the majority of the time, first in and best dressed is typically what leads the charge. So it's like,
usually depending on your niche. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but it's just hard. It's just hard to get in on that kind of stuff because like if it's been going on for a couple of years, like trying to start a Swoga stream like thing now, unless you're invested in the community or enough other streamers or you where you can kind of bleed audiences from.
That's the biggest thing. Yeah.
It's very hard to start and then keep things up and performing. It's like it's not just that you want to play and hang out, but it's just like if you want it to be something that's actually successful, it's very hard to work into that in that format.
It can be done. I mean, we've seen Nooch. Yeah. Sorry. No, you go ahead. Talk about Arnold for a minute, there, Wolf.
No, just say like Arnold started off early. He got in really good, and he not only did all of that, but he also put in the effort. He really upped the production value of those things and got all those effects, got all the green screens, got all the all that stuff going on. He not only got in there early, but as Karth said, best dressed. Or did you say best dressed? I don't. What did you say?
First in breast dressed. Yeah, it was Karth. Yeah.
First in best dressed.
Breast dressed. What? Which one?
Robin Redbreast. Yeah.
But he also upped that production value and had that insane production like quality and everything, and really took it to the next level. And there's a good damn reason he can actually survive off of Swigo, because he put in the effort, he got in early, and he did what he had to do.
And hats off to him, because he joined Star Wars Theory on his podcast. What is it, last week? Or was it earlier this week? I can't even remember.
I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about that.
And that's enormous as far as exposure for Arnold is concerned. This is the one thing that I've been saying for like the last 6 months that Arnold needs to do. It's the only way Arnold grows at this point is if he breaks into other markets, other niches, right? He can't. Yeah. He does not have any room to grow in Galaxy of Heroes. He's hit it. He is the ceiling. You know what I mean? He's not going to get like 90% of his audience no longer play the game anymore. They go there to watch him. They go there to watch him, not because they play Galaxy of Heroes. So for him to expand and reach a wider audience, he needs to dip his toes into other medias and into other areas. And getting on Star Wars Theories podcast is flipping enormous, because that guy is massive. You know, we're talking 10 times bigger than Arnold. And Arnold is 10 times bigger than anybody else in Galaxy of Heroes. So it's like, that's the only way to go, right? And
to bring it back to a bigger fish.
Exactly. To bring it back to Karth's point, it's like there's only so far you can grow, and Arnold's has taken up the lion's share, and that's fine. But it can be done. The audience is still there. It's still around. We've seen people grow in recent months. Like Nooch,
a lot of it.
Nooch over the last 9 months or so has skyrocketed faster than anybody else. I think he's at like 17,000 subs. He streams to about 200 people. So he streams to more people than Xaereth, Fatal. Like, these are some of the bigger content creators out there outside of Arnold. He pulls in more money and more viewership than any of those. And he did it not by being high production value or bringing anything necessarily new. He just targeted a different audience group, right? He targeted like returning players and a newer audience, essentially, with because he's not an endgame player. Nooch isn't. He doesn't have an endgame roster. He's not a Kyber 1 player. I think he's got like 5 or 6 million GP, something like that. But he's one of the biggest content creators for the game now. So there's room there, but it's not easy. It's very difficult to grow. I just don't put in enough effort on YouTube, personally. I just find it hard to find the time.
More than I do.
It's the grind. It's the grind part of it, though. It's there's just so much to put out. and it depends on what you want to focus on, what you want to have the most involvement in. But I think in the large scheme of things, I don't see like, I guess for the best way for like people who want to do content creation or content creation in general is it's more about developing the community that you want to hang out with while you're doing your games than it is about looking for the dollars, because every once in a while, things get crazy. Wolf hit how many sub 9 goals in the last year? It's been a few.
Bunch.
And that's not nothing.
This community is insane. This community is absolutely. I am continually and always like eternally humbled by this fucking community. Like, it is absolutely absurd. Like this, the Swiggle community in particular, how much people, and talking to one of the greatest fucking supporters of this community.
Oh, absolutely.
The amount of people who are cross, like who what
who me?
Is there somebody behind me? Is my dog? Oh, it's my dog, right? It's my dog.
Karth single-handedly props up like half this content creators in Galaxy of Heroes. She's a cutie.
This community is insane. Absolutely insane. Just next fucking level. But I'm not sure where I was going with that. But I got distracted by the puppy.
Just saying that you managed to hit many level 9 sub goals recently, right?
Sub goals. Oh yeah, I am eternally and just always humbled by this fucking community that any of us have managed to just like find any niche in this group is insane.
For real,
truly next level. And we had a whole meetup with a bunch of people from the community a week ago. Got a freaking cabin in Tennessee. Like 15, 16 of us got met up over there. Just a amazing time. Just amazing time. There's been a few meetups. We had a meetup in Vegas. Grids had a few meetups in Colorado. Just great. Not Colorado. Yeah, Colorado. Great fucking time. This community is crazy. Established via COVID. And
that's always a thing that I try to like kind of preface with people, because you do see crazy things happen on the community, and people are like, well, that could be me, and like, it could, but you need to kind of bleed into those communities that want to do that for you. And it's like, Friday night, Ram and Ranger were out having a great time just doing their pre-stream for Heinze. Ram got like 500 plus gifted subs. He's got more owed. He's got more owed shots because he was doing every 5 subs as a shot. He's gonna be drunk for the next 2-3 months if he tries to do some of those every day. And it's bananas. On
500 subs is about 9 months worth of my subs in total. You know what I mean? That's about how much I might get in about 9 months. And he got a one pre-stream. That's crazy, dude.
But it just happens. You get somebody who like, they got one guy who he doesn't play, but he just loves to screw with them. Yeah, he's just like, they love to do it. So
Heinze supporters are crazy.
Yeah, they show up and they just want to, like, somebody gave Ranger like $500 to do like 45 shoeys. Like,
Jesus Christ, 45 shoeys.
Yeah, so he was
you'd be dead.
Pissed drunk Saturday morning, but that it's just one of those things, like, those moments happen in the community. Yeah. But they're not for everybody, they're not all the time. They but they're there. They do exist, and that's partly because this community is kind of bonkers. To be fair, there are some people that just apparently are the ones that I pay all my Soga money to, that just show up and then just start throwing it around like I didn't care, and that's fine. That's completely fine. It's just not something that I would say is a realistic common expectation for a lot of people.
Oh God,
no. You can't assume that you're going to get 1 month into Swoga streaming and you're going to be getting like 1,000 gifted subs a month. Like, no, sorry, man.
No, I still never. I think the highest I've ever hit on any given month was around 200. I think it was around 200 concurrent in 1 month. And that's happened once, I want to say. And I've been streaming Galaxy of Heroes for about 3 years. So just over 3 years. So yeah, temper your expectations if you're looking to go into streaming, because it's not an easy ride. And you got to put a lot of work in and a lot of effort in, and find what entertains people, I guess. So yeah.
So,
the combination. You gotta know what you're doing, and you gotta be entertaining. So,
exactly. So that's like 95% of you dull fucks out of here already. Like, don't even bother. You're boring.
You're boring. You're trash. Get fucked. Get out of here.
Just stick to accountancy and flipping burgers. I'm joking. That was a joke, guys. That's a joke. If you want to go into stream and do it, absolutely. But yeah, just temper your expectations. It's totally cool. It's totally cool to go out there. Maybe you're the guy that's got that knack to it, but don't be going with expectations that are measured, and be okay with failure, because you'll fail a lot when you first start out. You'll fail a lot. It'll take a while. But yeah, what do you guys want to talk about? We've hit the 2-hour mark. If there's any other subjects you want to bring up, we can chat about them for 20 minutes or so. Swoga, what is that?
We should probably end somewhere near Swoga, because I feel like right now we started with not Swoga, got back to Swoga, immediately derailed away from Swoga.
Yeah,
came
it was a good
back
time.
to it for a little bit. This last one was Swoga adjacent. So we were close for that part of it.
Very close. Yeah. It was nearly good. It was nearly good content.
I guess the main thing that's only thing left to discuss would be kind of the marquees that are coming, but we did touch on them. But what factions they would probably support? Well, at least Ahmed, because let's be honest, we know where Grogu's headed. He's gonna go with Bo. He's gonna be a
Mandalorian. He's a Mandalorian droid support. Yeah. That's my guess as far as tags are concerned. He might get the healer tag. I don't know. But Mandalorian droid,
I'd probably
for sure.
Support. I would lean towards support, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mandalorian droid support, maybe healer at a push, but probably support and light side. Those are the tags I'm going for.
Unaligned Force user.
Oh.
Oh my god! If they put an Ufu
they should.
I'm gonna lose my.
They should.
He should
be Ufu. You should be Ufu. He's not a Jedi. I'm down with it, Wolfie. That's sick. That's sick. Give it to me, baby. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. And then everybody will find some fucking weird ass Mole Mandos Malicos fucking IG-12 team that kicks ass or something. That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
But Keller and Beck, on the other hand, I mean, obviously he should. Well, not obviously. I assume he's going to be Galactic Republic Jedi.
100%.
I assume too, but they may not, depending on where they want the synergy to go. No, you're right. Well, because technically the time we see him is during the fall of the Republic, so
yes,
there's no Galactic Republic anymore.
Excuse me. Are you going to say that then JMK is not Galactic Republic because we see him fighting Anakin? And oh god, no.
I have fallen.
I mean,
at that point, there's no Republic.
I mean, I know. I'm not saying
Galactic
it's a good point.
Empire.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's a good point. I'm just making it.
I do not stand behind this point. However, I will make it. Damn it. But I stand behind my right to make said point.
But it's where CG wants to put the character is that becomes the flair of it, right? Because if they don't want it to work under JMK, he won't have the GR tag. If they want it to work under JMK and Padme and that kind of stuff, then he'll have a GR tag. That's where that'll come down to. But in theory, out of technicality, you could relatively rationalize why he wouldn't have a GR tag. That's all I'm saying. CG has used less to prove more, so...
Yeah, well, I suppose, Rey doesn't have the Jedi tag.
Here's what I want. We were sort of talking about it yesterday on stream. Here's what I want. I want my boy Kelleran Beck to come in, be a Galactic Republic Jedi that actually makes the likes of Kit Fisto and I'm a Gundai useful. I want to see Luminara actually on a team, and Jedi Guardian, and Consular, and something fucking useful, thanks to our boy Keller and Beck. That is what I want to see. I want to farm up Kit Fisto, because Kit Fisto is awesome, and I want to farm him up because he's good, not because it's a fucking sub-goal, because he's shit, and it's troll sort of thing. I want to farm him up.
Is that your next one, Wulfffff? Is that your next one?
It's IG-12 and Grogu, so I have to do some wailing.
Oh god, that's painful. Ouch.
So
Kit Fisto is actually solid though. I mean, you just need to be high relics, and then he actually is a lot of fun under Qui-Gon. But that's a different.
Guys, don't go out there and relic your Kit Fisto. Don't do it.
Right.
I promise you've got 50 other relics that are better off.
I want Keller and Beck to come in and make those crap-ass Jedi, specifically them, useful so that I can be happy, because they're awesome. Right? Kit Fisto's bad.
Lore-wise, yeah, they're cool.
Lore-wise, Kit Fisto is awesome. He's so cool. Plo Koon, he's so cool. Like, I want these guys to be good.
Plo's cool, yeah. I mean, Plo should have some Ahsoka synergy, clearly.
That would be cool.
Plo has one of those characters that is so nichely useful depending on what's going on in the game right now.
The turn meter and the basic debuff dispel is nice.
Yeah, he's got good mechanics. He's a solid tank. He's crit avoidance on the mastery, so he's obnoxious to deal with. He gets good stat scaling. He's got the AoE defense up. He's got AoE offense down, I want to say. I don't remember what it is, whatever his AoE does.
I can't remember.
No idea, I never use them.
I think it's offense down.
And I know the important part is the turn meter up and the dispel on basic. That's the important part of his kit as far as I'm concerned.
I just need to commit all these things to memory for no good reason, just so that when we have these conversations, you can be able to do
I
it.
Look like swugger.gg to you?
Yeah, no. I was right. It's 70. They deal special damage to everybody with a 70% chance to inflict offense.
Look at me, my name's Karth, and I'm a walking encyclopedia of swugger.
And then he gains defense up for 4 turns. That's actually pretty impressive for a 4-turn cooldown. That's actually pretty impressive.
Do you know how Slacker ramps mastery though, Karth? I mean, that's the real question.
We discussed this.
Yes, we have been educated.
Incorrectly, partly, but yes.
We have been educated partially. We have come to an understanding.
We were nearly right. Combined, we were all nobody was right, but we were nearly right.
All together, we had the critical components to make that correct.
Just in the wrong order.
Just no one theory.
Our powers combined.
Yes.
Yeah.
Captain Planet.
Oh god.
Yeah. So don't let us design kits, CG. Man. Actually, could we try and change a stretch goal for CG's charity event and just say let's Scribble design a kit? I'd love to do that. Yeah, guys, let's do it.
I'll help out.
I'm going to make Jar Jar Binks' kit. Let's do it.
If that character isn't bald,
it can happen.
I won't wail.
If he's not bald, I won't wail. Yeah. Right, we're making a new Mace Windu, but he's white. All right?
That's one character Disney's not going to race swap, I guarantee you. You've got to start
Hold on. Correct me if I'm wrong, all right? But is the only bald white guy in Galaxy of Heroes Lobot? So does that technically make Lobot the white Mace Windu?
No.
Captain Rex. Captain Rex is bald.
Oh.
Has a beard.
True. Yeah, he does. Ooh, well, yeah. I did actually do I did a face swap app on my face once and made myself look older, and I looked exactly like Captain Rex, and it was the proudest I could ever be of myself, ever, even though I could never grow such a glorious beard.
Rayrock is, we got Jolie.
Is Jodie white? Jodie's not white.
No, he's black.
Uh-oh. I don't think Jolie's white, man. Like, Jolie Bindo.
No.
No, he is definitely, like, come on, man.
Okay, yeah.
If this guy is white...
Yeah. Okay, well, we got Malgus. How about Malgus? Can we agree Malgus?
Oh, okay.
And Mallet.
Yeah.
Malgus and Mallet.
Malgus and Mallet.
They both look more white in the same way that Kratos is white. You know, I feel like they probably murdered their wife and son, and the ashes from their death printed onto their bodies.
How about Dad Bud Boba? Scion of Django.
What's Scion of Django? Scion of Django. Yeah, maybe.
That dude's bald as fuck.
Scion, yeah. Okay, fine. I mean, right? I think he's New Zealand, isn't he? Is he from? I think he's from New Zealand.
New Zealand. How technical do we want to get? Because technically, Bosk is bald.
Okay, but he's a lizard.
He's not human.
he's a lizard.
So is Greedo. Just saying.
And he's green, not white.
Greedo is. Yeah, he's green.
But he doesn't have hair on his head, and that's what I'm quantifying for bald. So shush.
Admiral Akbar.
Okay, fine. So Greedo is Admiral Radus is also a fish. Polled to bring the bald faction into Swooker. Can they have a unique that makes people blind just by looking at them?
Oh my god! All of the Geonosians. Do any of the Geonosians have hair? I don't think so.
No, we're really diving into the rabbit hole here.
We're really scraping the bottom of the barrel of Swigger content to talk about right now. How did we get onto bald Swigger people? Never mind.
Oh, it's easy because you said you wanted to create a character, and I said if the character was bald, I wouldn't wail from it. And then you immediately took that as to go, who else is bald in Swugger?
And I made the argument that Lobot is the white Mace Windu, and I mean. It could happen.
I would at least prefer the comparison to be like Jedi related, like maybe Malak is the white Mace Windu, because at least it's like closer to Force users. They're dual tanks.
I mean, technically speaking, Malak at one point was a light side Jedi. He was a Jedi at one point, and presumably he was bald. So maybe there was a point in time where Malak was the white Mace Windu.
Yeah, I mean, actually, he was bald the entire time because even his artwork with Revan when he was a Jedi Knight is him bald. He has the tattoos on his head, but he's
there. You go.
He is bald.
There we go, then, guys. There we go. Mace Windu is just a pretender to Malgus.
The critical information.
There we go. We figured it out.
Somebody tell Ram. You know.
I don't know if I want to tell that to Ram. I feel like it'll hurt his feelings and you'll have to go cry.
Yeah.
We asked him about how Hellsteel worked, so I mean that was a good time. That was a good time. Yeah. Oh my days.
Yeah. No, just
okay.
Bad idea. Anyways.
I'm gonna wrap up this thoroughly engaging Galaxy of Heroes content that we're talking about, right? Galaxy of Heroes made by Capital Games, allegedly. Yeah, that it won't hold up in a court of law, but allegedly we talked about Galaxy of Heroes today. Wulfffff, anything you want to say before we kiss goodbye to this particular podcast?
You know what? I think we've said enough. I think we got to call it here. Scribbly Bibbly.
Yeah.
It has been an absolute fucking pleasure. Karthik, my dude. Pleasure as always. That shit's empty.
Here. Yeah. Good night, guys. Thanks for joining. We'll speak to you next week.